All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Twilight Imperium, or Embers of the Imperium tonight, continuing and finishing our little trilogy of sessions here. We are down in Aaron, as he couldn't make it today, but Long has decided to step in. We didn't really want him to join. We were fine with going with 4, but as we know, he can be very disgruntled. And so we let him come play. But he's going to be taking over the role of Murtaugh, one of the surviving science team members that we've met so far. And we just gave him an explanation of how to play the game about 5 minutes ago. So this is going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty good. Do we want to do actual intros? I don't think we want to do actual intros. Let's just jump right in.
Let's just go.
All right, let's just rip it. So. And we'll do kind of like a montage thing. You can kind of introduce your characters as we do some other things and such. So, quick summary. So everyone's on the same page with where we're at. You are a Kelleris team, which means that you are special agents. You're working for the Galactic Council. You're attempting, generally speaking, to keep the peace, to avoid wars, all that kind of stuff. This little arc that we've been doing, you've been tasked with escorting a science team to the Mergallan cluster. And you learned last time that the team believes that it can predict, the whole point of the science team is they can predict where this mythical gamma wormhole will open next. Is the wormhole, the rumors were that it exists, but that no one really knew where it opened. And not only can they predict where it's going to open, but they can possibly stabilize it. So that was like the big thing with them. A cult of Vulwraith worshippers faked a Kelleris alert and distracted you all, or brought you to the planet Bereg, which was like this icy mining outpost. And they used that alert as a distraction to abduct your science team and steal a bunch of their wormhole tech. Evidence eventually led you all to a research assistant that was on the team that was secretly a member of the cult. That was the mole, basically, helped facilitate that abduction. You also learned that the kidnappers, these cultists, had recently been to Wellen. As you looked at some of their navigational data, they were at Wellen, which is this industrial planet that is known for its floating cities, helium mines, and advanced cybernetics. And there was also specifically connections to a person by the name of Bertod Reek, who is CEO of Coil Cybernetics, who apparently has a very devoted following, who sees him as a visionary, iconoclast, not just in cybernetics, but like this anarchical dissent against the Galactic Council. There was all these different speeches of him speaking some really strange, far out there concepts, trying to bring down the very notion of space empires. And so we ended with you all traveling to Wellen. And the last image we saw is you guys kind of entering the atmosphere. We see these floating cities, and you head to the capital city of Azur Glide is the name of this one floating city you're at. Where apparently the kidnappers, the escort fighters, originated from Reek's Sky Palace in this particular city. So that's where we're going to pick up. So, as a way of kind of smashing together a start to the session and kind of introducing your characters, let's say that you all land. You go through your proper clearances, you're in the spaceport, no real issues, bustling kind of symphony of sounds kind of unfolds between various spaceport commands, multicultural workers and people coming and going onto public and private transport. You can see that there's all sorts of spacecraft that are coming and going, gliding along these sky lanes above the city, traveling to other islands that are in the atmosphere or going up into orbit. You can see there's a bunch of vendors as well in the spaceport trying to sell you this or that, exotic scents, holographic displays, things like that. All these different advertisements for local restaurants, cybernetics warehouses, sightseeing. A lot of it is branded with that coil image. And you can see it here. Almost every 2 out of every 3 advertisements seem to incorporate it. There's maintenance drums that are humming all over the place. There's technician Sar, Nazroka. You can hear these soft melodies kind of intermingling with these loud announcements. And you see like this welcome sign that says, "Welcome to Azur Glide, where the future meets the heavens," which is sort of the slogan for the city. So we'll say you all get here, and generally you're trying to figure out, how, where did your people go? Were they taken here? How do you access, Reek Coil, the Sky Palace, that kind of stuff. So as a way of sort of starting on to that, why don't we go around? What are you doing as you arrive? When you first arrive, how are you kind of trying to sort of progress this search? How are you trying to uncover more details about your missing people, or about Reek, or about Coil? What are the first couple of things that you all do to continue your investigation? So, if anyone has an idea, you can start, or I can just roll random, whatever you prefer. What are we thinking?
Do random.
Random it is. Okay, so let's see. Koi. We're going to start with old Koi. Evan, what would Koi do as one of the first things when they arrive within Azurglide?
So I was thinking, since we do have a prisoner, I was thinking maybe a classic interrogation to get some information out of her, and just to, maybe some things that she didn't say to us, we might be able to kind of suss out that could give us a little more information about our people specifically.
Okay, so we'll say we're on the ship still. You haven't necessarily. I mean, I'm assuming that's where the interrogation is happening. You're kind of doing it still on your ship. You haven't quite left the spaceport. You have got this research assistant, manacled. Maybe Krieg is there with you as well. Why don't we go ahead? We'll do a roll, and then you figure out what kind of questions you're trying to get answers to.
Okay.
So take whatever tactic that you want to take in terms of social, and then we'll follow up with some questions.
All right. I will roll some coercion.
Sounds good.
Or try to, at least. Two successes.
Okay. So what would we say is like the kind of information Koi is looking to get from the research assistant? Like what
I think what she cares about most is the members from the science team. So since she clearly knows they were taken, where would they go? Like, where do they go? To another science lab somewhere? Is that like underground? Is it somewhere public? Where would they take them for further research to further their goals, essentially?
Okay. So I would say, I mean, how when you're being you're using coercion, like, are you getting physical with it, or is it just constant pestering of questions over like the several days worth of travel between Varig and here? Is it just question?
No,
after
I think
question?
She's pretty physical with her.
Okay.
She's trying to get the answer quickly because she thinks time is of the essence.
So yeah, we see in this secluded area of the cargo bay, we see Krieg nearby. You rough her up a little bit here and there, and you can tell definitely that she is deranged. Like it's not like something. It is amazing that she was able to suppress that and actually come across for so long as just this normal seeming, nerdy research assistant. And she spouts all manner of like this strange rhetoric about the abyss, about legions like coming through, and like you've heard some of this over and over again, the idea of this extra dimensional species. But over the days, as you're pressing, she does eventually begin to sort of let some of it slip out, and she talks about how Reek, how the leader, as she regularly refers to him as, how he's going to open a gateway, and the Legion will come through, and people will see. And so she's constantly mentioning that, and she references a ship that Reek uses, like this. It looks on the surface like a cruise liner, like something like a space yacht that any old rich person would do, but it's been specially modified in some ways to sort of use various wormhole tech. And so you get the sense that it's that specific ship that she's referring to, is that's probably where they've been taken, and how the little pieces, the missing pieces of whatever he needed to try to open up those rifts might be what's in some of this tech that you guys took, or they stole from you guys. And you got a second success. So if there's another piece of information that you're looking for, you probably get it too. if there's anything else.
I mean, I'm gonna go with the assumption that that's not like a public yacht. So yeah, maybe how high of like a member do you have to be have access to that place, or is there like some sort of tiers to like this cult?
There are tiers to the cult for sure. Like, and you get the sense that she is decently high up. But I would say that you also, at some point in the conversation, you might even slip forth the actual name. It's called the Rhinestone, and like that's the name of the ship. And some quick checking without needs for rolls, like just checking database, even connecting the ship computers and the savants to the actual networks of Welland. Like, it's a well-known ship. Like, it is well-known, but like she mentioned, it certainly feels like it's being at least portrayed as like a Playboy's type vessel and not this other thing. But she seems convinced that it's not what it appears to be, that it's more, there's more to it. All right. So that's what Koi's been doing, probably as the ship comes down, kind of get these last bits of information, going through the computers, looking into that. Let's see, who would we want to go with next? Piri, what would Piri be doing? This could be as you're traveling to get here. This could be immediately upon landing. This could be even within a few hours after landing, exploring the city. Like, I'm open to basically anything. We can kind of montage this however we want. So what would Piri be doing to try to help facilitate this, find out information?
So Puri is hungry. So we've been traveling. We are now in a new location. And so one of the first things that she is going to do is she wants to get some information on, like a restaurant or food truck or somewhere that she can get some local food and then kind of strike up conversations.
Right. So there's certainly, like, in the spaceport itself, it's very metropolitan in some ways. It's actually very, very nice. Like, the city seems to be well funded. Like, you can tell just from the spaceport getting off of it, it looks to be a city for those who are affluent in some ways. Like, you don't really see any immediate signs of anything below, like, kind of mechanic blue collar. You see that. You don't see any, like, destitute. You don't see any vagrants. There's no panhandling or anything going on. But right in the middle of the spaceport, there definitely is there's the presence of a diverse series of stalls. It's not like these major restaurants or anything, but you can see it's more for people coming off the station, off a ship just like you, and they're trying to take advantage of that long travel, or trying to get people impulse buying before they get on a ship for long travel. Mm-hmm. So there's stuff like that you could easily do.
Yeah, that works.
But if you wanted to look for more like established restaurants, there's plenty of advertisements that you're seeing pop up as you pass through, like, security checkpoints, or as you just stand and wait in line to get cleared. You can see certain things pop up here and there. There's you see multiple times a reference to this really high class establishment, not just in terms of its social class, but in terms of its physical height in the city, called the Cloud Serpent. There is, you can see in some of the grimier areas, places that it's not as prominent, there's a place called Alloy that is referenced quite frequently. And so those are probably two names that you would see pop up in terms of in the city of Welland. No role required for that. That's just all, like, obviously seen. So with those choices, where would Piri be going to try to gain some info?
Okay, so Piri was kind of going to go to one of the stalls and then starts kind of seeing the flashing lights for all of the kind of signs and everything, and she's gonna, it's like, oh, high up, Cloud Serpent, yes, Cloud Serpent, that sounds great, high up.
Okay, so you want to go and visit this high-class establishment. So you leave the spaceport. When you do, and again, and anyone who wants to be with her, just say so, and you're there. But you can see that there are just when you step out of the spaceport, which is kind of isolated somewhat on one side of this floating island, there are skyscrapers that are just towering all over, and they reach so far up that you can't even really see the top. Cloud cover sweeps in, and you can see there's all sorts of reflective glass. There's holographic imaging. You can see, even just looking up, you're being bombarded with various advertisements just looking up. You can see that there are tram lines that are sweeping around the city in these like kind of figure eight patterns here and there, moving with great amount of speed. And then even on the lower level where you're at, as you leave the spaceport, there's plenty of like bustling activity. We just lost Ashley. I thought it was Stephen for sure, but we lost Ashley.
I'm upset, but I'm so relieved it's not me.
Right?
Wow.
All right. So anyhow, I'm going to keep talking and we'll deal with it. So you can see that there's like tram lines for travel. There's basically pedestrian activity, but once more, like just immediately looking around, you don't really see any signs that you can tell of like any kind of destitute nature. So we'll say, yeah, you head up to the Cloud Serpent. It is a fairly high class establishment. You can see that there is most certainly an attire requirement, so you have to sort of be dressed sort of particular way. But even just hearing like rumor mill about it, it's a place like for fairly influential kind of political, social figures are up there. So I'm going to need a roll from you to see if you can even kind of get in there, to be honest.
Oh dear. What kind of roll do you need?
I mean, I'll take anything. It's really just a social skill roll, really.
An outfit roll?
I'll take any social skill. So if you're looking to charm your way in there, if you're looking to lie your way in, you can do deception or...
I'll do deception.
Okay. So you can roll it, and then you can describe what lie or deception are you trying to piece together that gets you up into the Cloud Serpent.
That's 2 successes.
Okay, so who do you say you are, or what? How do you portray yourself as to get up there?
So I am going to say that kind of on my way in, I've kind of done a little bit of research, and so I'm looking for someone that is I'm blanking here. Reek adjacent. So there's someone who's sort of in the orbit of this Mr. Reek individual that's not like him necessarily, but sort of someone that's kind of known to be connected with him, but is a little bit, kind of on the outskirts. And so I am going to say that I have been sent here to kind of do basically like I'm their assistant, and like I need to, kind of come here and make sure that everything is going to be ready for their upcoming reservation that they have in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so you're doing like literally like you're saying you're doing some sort of inspection. All right.
Right.
Okay. All right. So they're a little alarmed at first because they haven't been notified, and so the fact that you're like bringing this up, like you can see them going through their savants. They're going through their various devices, and they're like, we have no record of this. Mr. Reek didn't tell us this, his offices or anything. We were totally unprepared. Of course we are welcome. Is it his usual individual party? Is it and so they start asking questions as if this has happened before. Like, is it going to be him and his usual group? Are there others?
No, this is Mr. Xu. Will not be with Mr. Reeks this time. It's Mr. Xu. But I'm making a note that you did not have note of this. So okay, we'll move on.
We can accommodate. No, not an issue at all. And so they are scrambling between trying to accommodate you, but at the same time trying to express their annoyance at at not believing that they haven't been told ahead of time. So now that you've gained access, Perry, is there anything in particular you're trying to accomplish here other than gaining access?
Trying to kind of get a sense of when Oh gosh, there goes Stephen. When Mr. Reek might have been here before, when Mr. Reek might be due to come back. So kind of just trying to get a sense of, do they tend to come, kind of once a month? Do they have, kind of regular groups that come? And so trying to kind of see what kind of information they may share. Favorite foods, what tends to be on the menu, things to avoid, allergies, kind of all those kinds of
okay. I have like
food-related
that info. I'm just going to give you something. I don't have Reek's allergies. Sorry, that's not in my prep notes.
Fish allergy.
Yeah, really got a peanut allergy.
It's definitely vegan. So
it's totally vegan. I'll say this: a couple of things that you learn. You learn that, first of all, he hasn't actually come very frequently. He has in the past, but he hasn't anytime recently. More often than not, it's more of a catering service where parts, like the Cloud Serpent sends some of their staff to his palace where he takes all his meals. Or there were times in the past prior to his most recent like Outer Rim venture where they would actually they would actually go onto the ship sometimes when he would be doing these sort of cruises of the solar system. They would go on the Rhinestone from time to time, and they would cater it for some of the higher ups. But it's been quite some time since they've done that. But they have done catering for him, and it's a whole manner of thing. Now, in terms of local delicacies, there really aren't any. This is a place that there's a lot of the stuff that's manufactured here is really like more lab grown. The way this actual planet is, there's not a ton of native animal or plant life that is particularly noteworthy. So usually they're either bringing stuff in or they're manufacturing it in labs. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's kick over to Ashley. Ashley, since you're here, what has Saw been doing as part of her?
Ilana, she needs to do some reconnaissance. So she is leaving the ship. She is walking along. She is viewing every other dock, seeing if she can notice anything weird. She's looking for the Rhinestone.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. So you just want to do? Are you doing just like a physical observation?
She's walking around like she's being a tourist, oohing and eyeing as she's viewing these beautiful ships.
I mean, perception seems like kind of what you're going after here. If you want to give that a roll, and we'll go from there.
Let's see.
The technical issues that this little 3-session game has faced is more than the total amount of technical issues all of our other streams over the past 2 years have had combined. Like, it's insane.
It's really true.
Absolutely insane. Between the first session where I had all those things going on with Foundry and a few other stuff,
my gosh, you said the words. That's why it failed.
I know.
I got 2 threats.
Wow.
Oh, all right, let me move some folks around here. See if I can get them back into here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Sa, you're traveling around the spaceport, which is enormous, by the way. The spaceport, as you might expect, is gigantic. So it can there's numerous bays that either have multiple ships or at least one large ship. There's a few that are empty that are being reserved here and there. But I'll tell you this without like even needing any success on this. It's very clear that this ship that you've learned the name of from Koi in his interrogation of Katha Amis, it's not here. And you know this for a fact. It's not here. It's not difficult to find this information out. It actually becomes somewhat common knowledge that he has his own private port for that, and he tethers it to his space palace. So his cruiser is actually tethered to his space palace. So that's one thing you notice. But as you're asking questions and poking your nose around, you do see there are groups of people that are coming and going from some of these docks here and there. That are a lot of them that have that branded coil logo here and there.
Okay.
That are wearing similar garb to those who abducted your science team. They don't have the mask on currently. Like you don't see that, and you're not sure if that's just because like they're in spaceport or they're no longer in Barrig, and you're not sure if it's specifically them. But you can see that similar garb, that same kind of coloring here and there. The cloaks seem to drape down, but they are moving about in mass, and they are definitely poking around as if they're looking for something. They're like moving through in these groups as they're checking various bays where ships have come and docked.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Nico, let's kick over to you. What has Nico been doing?
So on the trip over, Krieg, Mannix, our beloved Aaron.
Check your mic, Nico. You might be.
Yeah, I think we're a webcam.
Might be webcam mic.
There we go. How's that?
Yeah, that's much better.
Better.
Yeah. So on the way over, Krieg, Mannix, our beloved Aaron, took away Nico's grenades.
Yes,
So
he did.
the first thing he's going to do is attempt to find some sort of black market dealer to buy more grenades.
Okay.
And hopefully by making that contact, he'll be able to find out like who's sourcing, other
Gotcha.
black market weapons to Coil.
This sounds like a Streetwise test. If you would like to give that a rip. Streetwise.
Do we have audience dice?
Yes, we do.
Here we go. What are we doing? Boost for those? The D6s? I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'd like to tag along with Nico because I'm also looking for people
Okay.
in low places because I have a talent for Streetwise.
That's true. Read that talent out because I remember there's a benefit that you get for it.
Yeah, friends in low places. It's if I'm a SAR, I can activate this talent in a populated world and obtain an item or service of my successes.
Okay, so so you have to basically roll you're rolling an easy Streetwise test to use it, and if you do, you obtain either an item or a service equal to essentially twice as good. So you just do basically twice as good as anybody else would, and it's only an easy test for you, so it's a 1 difficulty test.
Because we're working together, though, would we like combine our stats?
Well, what we could do is we could have Murtaugh roll it, and you give him the boost, and he can roll Streetwise.
I think when you're helping, you use the one person's attribute and then the other person's skill.
That's true. And I think you've got what, like 4 cunning, and I think Murtaugh
That's about what I
has,
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got
Okay.
better skill and I've got better cunning.
All right. So who's gonna roll it? Who do we want to roll it?
Go ahead, Murtaugh.
All right. So Long, what you're gonna do? Go ahead and click on Streetwise. And when you do, add. So see the green diamond, the D8 to the right. Hit the plus symbol on it. So you add an extra D8. Okay.
Got it.
And then on the left hand side, click one of those purple die, so it goes away. So you only have one purple die for difficulty. Okay. And then click on the plus for another blue die, as I think Nico already committed to using an audience die. So you should have 2 yellows, 2 greens, and a blue versus 1 purple, as I think.
Ooh,
where
looks
you should
good.
get. Okay, go ahead and rip it. Okay.
1 success, 5 advantages.
1 success and 5 advantages. Dear God, that's a lot of advantages. Okay.
Wow.
That's a lot of advantages. So you guys are looking for like an underbelly, like a seedy underbelly or something like that, or a place like a black market, you said? Okay.
Even a vending machine for grenades, I would accept.
There are no vending machines.
Borderland style.
Oh God, that'd be great. They're right next to like all the soda vending machines. Okay. So whereas Puri went up higher into the sky here, to the near top part of like the penthouse levels of some skyscrapers to get the Cloud Serpent, Murtaugh and Nico, you find yourselves asking around here and there. Murtaugh, maybe there's a person specifically that you know in port that gave you the direction to this place, but you find yourselves heading kind of more to Azraglide's underbelly, like this sub-levels. So you don't even see the sky anymore. You're in like a series of underground tunnels, compartments, not quite sewer system, but you can see that beneath this grandiose thing, there's all sorts of machinery that just helps these islands float and fly about. And down beneath there is a very that this is where a lot of those engineers, mechanics, and such work. So it's probably familiar to you, Murtaugh. And you guys come across a place that popped up here and there on various advertisements. A place called Alloy. So I'd already mentioned it before. And when you head in there, it's you can tell that it's a little seedy, very dark. There's very dim lights here and there. There's these old model like hollow gambling tables around which there's various desperate looking individuals that are throwing these hollow dice, playing craps. Others that are playing cards. It's the type of place when you walk into the bar, everyone kind of looks up for a second at you, looks you up and down, and then turns back to what they're doing. In Murtaugh, we'll say you know someone here by the name of Tiberius Kane. He's a Hakan, which is one of the cat folk, the sort of lion people, who is like an info broker that works in the underbelly. And I'll say that the two of you kind of come up to this booth in this far corner, this dark booth. You kind of wait for a minute because you see he's dealing with somebody else, and there's a line to go talk to him. After about 10 minutes of waiting, you're eventually like shouldered forward by one of his goons. You slide into the booth, and he's sitting across from you. You see a big scar from the forehead all the way down through like where the bridge of the nose might be, down to the side of his mouth, because he's got a cybernetic eye. And in one of his hands, he's missing a few of his digits that have been replaced by more cyber gear. And he looks up at you all and he says, "What is it Tiberius can do for you?
We're looking to buy things that go boom."
Ah, yes, I can do. Yes. How big of the boom are you looking for?
The biggest boom you got.
Well, little one, I can acquire a very big boom. But the question is, can you pay for the very big boom?
We can trade a ship for it.
And you see he spits what he was drinking. You can trade a ship for a very big boom.
Right, Murtaugh?
You have a ship. I don't know of it.
The Kalaris ship that we came in on.
You are Kalaris?
Oh, no, not loosely affiliated. They just buy us more things that go boom.
Kalaris buy you things that go boom? Then why are you here speaking with Tiberius to get more boom?
I ran out of boom.
You ran out of boom. Well, that is something that we should have to remedy now, isn't it? An Isur traveling about this place without boom. That sounds like a travesty.
If you can just hook up my friend here with some grenades, I think that would suffice.
Grenades. This is beneath Tiberius, but for a old friend, I can accommodate. Yes, it is all you want from me. Just
not just that, but for me, look for something bigger. Friends. You know, people that dislike Reed.
Do I know people who dislike Bertadrik? Yes, approximately half the city, I would imagine. And the other half dislikes him as well, but they are paid to at least like him, or at least they enjoy the benefits that he provides.
I need a way in. I've got a crew of 5 to the Sky Palace.
Get into his Sky Palace. Is this connected to this Isirul's desire for boom?
Might be loosely associated.
We're going to make him go boom.
You are going to assassinate Bertadrik.
Only if we need to. We need to.
He's captured a team of ours. Kidnapped, I'd say.
I have heard of this, actually. Yes. Some of his underlings, they come here from time to time and throw the dice. And they are not the quietest. They are very bold.
Are any of them here right now?
I do not believe so. I do not. They would be very loud. And they would
Nico takes his hand out of his fanny pack then.
So let me get this straight. You want access to the palace. You want items that go boom. And you want to use those items to assassinate a very prominent figure in Wellen. Is that correct?
No. Not assassination.
Pretty much.
I am getting mixed signals from the two of you.
This Nico fella, I just met him. He saved my life, yes, but don't believe he really wants to kill him.
Nico, is it? Are you intending to assassinate the most powerful man on Wellen?
Is it assassination if he's guilty of a crime?
It is, yes, if you are not officially sanctioned to do it. And even if you are, yes, you kind of are still assassinating it. It is just probably state or empire sanctioned assassination. Listen,
I'm not a lawyer.
I have no problem if you assassinate him. I am more concerned with the boom being linked back to Tiberius.
Oh no, I'll boom all the things that go back to you.
I don't understand your use of boom in that sentence. What does that mean? Because boom means exploding things, and now you're saying it in a different way to suggest the verb means something else.
I'm gonna boom everything.
Okay, we don't really want to boom everything. This is a floating city. Booming too much, the entire palace, for instance, will likely cause a destabilization, and we could fall.
You want our ship or not?
I would like the ship, and I can guarantee you, if you explode the palace, I will need the ship to escape, as the planet is not going to like a large floating island crashing to the earth.
I don't understand your problem.
Okay,
I'm a little confused.
Yes, Tiberius is confused as well. Listen, Nico, why here are some tokens. There are some slot machines over there. Go put them in the slot and pull the big lever and watch the fancy lights go ring, 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 and maybe you win something.
Will it go boom?
Well, yes, possibly.
Run on over.
Okay.
Don't worry about him. I'll keep an eye on him. He's a little antsy.
Okay. I can provide you with ordnance if that is what you desire. And if you're looking for a way in, well, as I said, the palace is connected. It is the most prominent building. It is the center, the literal center of the island. And its workings connect to some of our machine tunnels. And there are people I have who could potentially get you inside, yes, if this is your desire.
Yes, sounds good.
5, you said you are bringing.
Yeah, we have 5, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's just the 5 of you and you're not bringing any NPCs or something, yeah.
Then 5 it is.
Indeed. So we'll close out of that scene as you kind of two do that together. And so everyone's kind of done a little bit of kind of poking around, looking into things. For the ease of communication, we'll say at some point you guys are probably going to meet up somewhere. Will we say we're meeting up back at the ship? Saw, you did notice that there is an increased presence of those cultist folks at the spaceport who seem to be on alert. And you can see as if you're not sure if they're looking for you or they just happen to be there, but you get the sense that they are actively looking. So would we say we're meeting in the port? Would you say you guys would try to meet up outside the port? What's the plan?
Would we meet up at the ship and then maybe have Krieg undock the ship and so just in case they are looking for us, it's not just sitting there waiting for them to get access to?
If you want him to take it back up to orbit, you certainly could. I mean, that's certainly something he could do.
I'm seeing what everybody else thinks.
Can I get the keys to the ship? No reason why.
No. After all the time Salana has spent fixing when you use grenade inside, no.
It was a small grenade.
It was inside, though. It was inside, not outside, inside.
I'll do it outside from now on.
Okay, that works.
Nico, you can take 7 particle grenades.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Last session. Okay. So.
just so you guys know, the creepies, the people who we are looking for, you killed them. They're increased presence. They're all over the port. They're looking for something. Solana does not know what, but they are looking.
Must be us. It's the only thing I can think of.
Yes,
Probably.
yes.
We should get out of here. Into
Where
the
next?
city.
Where do we go next?
I've got a crew or a team setting up for later.
Already?
Yes, already. Where have you
I
been?
just found out what he likes to eat and where he takes his dinner and what he likes to and what he's allergic to. That's all I found out. You already have a crew?
His allergies, that could work.
We could poison him. That would be wonderful.
I mean, do we even need to kill him? Aren't we just trying to get our scientists back? I don't understand why
Well, no, the
everybody's...
issue is he's trying to mess with stuff that does not belong with him. Black holes, Cruis. That's our thing on the outskirts of space. He needs to shut up and not mind his own business.
Right, but if
I
we
am channeling
remove
too much Ba yesterday.
the research and the scientists, then he can't do what he wants to do. He can just talk.
Oh, you're right, Koi. I spent time with Nico. He keeps talking about
Yeah, we
assassination.
don't have to kill him. Anyways, yeah, we should probably get out of here and tell Krieg to go up because they might be looking for the prisoner, that lady.
Oh, we should have checked her to see if she had a locator chip.
I don't know. She's pretty crazy, so if you want to.
Man, I mean, what's that? We got better things to do. Let's go.
Okay, so Krieg is going to take the ship with, I assume, some of your other NPCs, the Administrator, Luwak, Sash, the Nazroka, the surviving Nazroka member. Okay. So they take the ship up. Krieg is on standby. He is going into orbit, so it's not like, hey, Krieg, come get us, and you're there 5 minutes later like an Uber. It takes hours, but he will be flying up there. No problem. Then
should we do that then? Because what if we're fucked?
What if he just goes up real quick and then circles back down? So it's just like to, buy some time.
Okay, we'll just prepare for Operation Fubar. Have that on standby.
We'll be ready.
Okay.
We'll be ready.
So you basically have sort of two leads. You have this notion of what Periloka found, the idea of like the catering stuff, but then you also have Murtaugh's, like there are, from his Tiberius lead, they can actually find a way to get in. So it's up to you guys what you want to do. You tell me.
Well,
Front door.
What?
Front door works too, actually. You can just go.
Shouldn't we take the shafts? Isn't that a lot more safe?
A lot more discreet, of course.
And I mean, the catering thing, who knows how long it's going to take them to cook all that food, and we got to wait. And
I like climbing. I can do that.
I can be discreet.
No, you
And-
can't.
why does your fanny
Nico,
pack look so fat?
I was about to say that's enough grenades that it had to make me buy more pouches and packs. So I probably went shopping somewhere on the way back, and I probably have like children's cartoon fanny packs lining myself to hold the grenades.
Can you have one of those children's backpacks with the leash?
Only fanny packs for Nathan.
But you're wearing the fanny pack. It's like the crossbody fanny pack. So
Yeah,
you've
I've
got like
two
one on the
bandoliers
wrist.
of fanny packs and then one around the waist.
Did we see the research team dock, or were they here like hours before us?
No, so like basically the lead, so they were taken, and then you guys dug into some navigational data from one of the ships that they left behind. You managed to kill a couple of the cultists that had abducted them before they left, and so there was one of their smaller ships was left behind. You went into their nav logs, and they were coming back here, and there was navigational data that suggests that not only were they on this planet, they were specifically with this city, and then some other stuff popped up specifically with your prisoner that connected her to Reek. And you saw all this sort of rhetoric and these other stories about him kind of starting to go crazy a little bit as he took some sort of trip out into like the rim. And since he's come back over the last couple of years, his rhetoric has started to get stranger and stranger and stranger, and more like anti-galactic council and all that kind of stuff.
I'll see if I can get in contact with any of the research team.
No, the research team, they were abducted, so there's really no, like they were taken.
Is there no way to like reach? They have comms or anything like that?
No, they wouldn't. Not everybody has comms. There's a specific thing in the game called comm bead. So if you have a comm bead, you would be communicating with one another. And more than likely, if they had something like that, it would have been confiscated at this point.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Then the only thing we know is they're here somehow. And I got a way in to the Sky Palace.
Yep.
So-
And then to the ship.
Mhm.
Okay. So you want to go, we were taking Murtaugh's lead of like going up through the tunnels below and kind of entering into the palace. Okay. We can do that. So sometime we'll say, I don't know, later in the day, evening time, you meet up with Tiberius once more in that seedy alleyway bar and casino. You get connected to a name, gives you a person to meet up and a location to go to. And you're kind of waiting around for a bit. And what ultimately is like this network, and there's people coming and going here and there. So you just kind of lingering in the middle of this intersection, or like on the corner of this intersection, and what ultimately looks like these sewer tunnels in some ways. A couple of people kind of look at you askance, but eventually someone, a Winu of all, like much like your administrator, kind of wiry looking, looks very very sickly, in fact, comes up, pulls back a cloak head, and sees Murtaugh. It's like, are you the one I'm supposed to? Are you Murtaugh?
No, that's me.
Okay, you follow me, and you all know you know how to keep quiet, right? You're not supposed to say anything. If we didn't show you this way in. If you're caught, we've got nothing to do with you. Yeah?
Of course, we were never here. You were
Who are
never
you?
here.
Who are you? I don't know who you are. Who are you?
Okay, you're at like a 15, bird lady. I need you at like a 7. Thanks. And so he'll lead you through a series of tunnels, and eventually you see him start to go through these heavy duty, like kind of old school, like almost like submarine style doors, right? And the place is much different than up above. Like up above, everything is chrome, everything is sleek, everything is shiny and reflective. Down here, everything's grimy, and you can tell in many ways that this place down here is where a lot of the hard work is. But eventually, he takes you through what can only be described as a series of like gears and gadgets, these massive industrial pipes where he more than once tells you, don't fall. As you can see, if you were, you would get grind up in a moment. And then at a certain point, he stops, he turns back to you, and he's like, this is as far as I go. You take that catwalk, keep going straight until you see a red pipe. It's going to go vertically up, probably about 2 stories. On that second story, you're going to see a vent right behind that pipe. You climb through, and that will take you up into the Sky Palace. Now, here's the important thing. The Sky Palace has all manner of defenses, both physical, like they actually have guards and troops, security personnel. It's like his own private army. But they also have plenty of network security. They got motion sensors. They got heat sensors. They know when someone comes in there, all times. So what you need to do is immediately upon entering, you're going to need to hack that system, or they're going to know you're there right away. And you're going to have to shut it down, that console down, so it doesn't report. Now, they're still going to see a glitch. They're still going to see it, and they're going to think something went wrong, and that means they're going to send personnel down to check out the basement levels as fast as possible, but they're not going to see you all, at least. And then after that, you're on your own.
Thanks for getting us in at short notice.
Yeah. All right. Good luck. And he turns around. You see him just start to slink away at this point. And you kind of go forward, follow the path he gives you, the catwalk. You see the red pipe. You go up 2 stories, and you can see nestled behind it, there is this cut in this metal. Like it's probably about 6 feet tall, maybe about 5 feet wide. It's kind of a tight fit for Koi. But the rest of you, it's not too difficult, and you were able to sort of climb up this vent. Anything want to do anything else before you? This is one of them save points in like a Final Fantasy game before we go any further. Is anyone doing anything else before we go any further?
Do we need a plan? I can take out the console.
He said hack the console, not destroy the console. Hack the console.
I'm pretty sure he said take care of it too.
Hack with skills. Hack with skills.
So Lana can hack it.
Sasha hack. Sasha hack. Good at
Do
hacking.
we think we can find like a blueprint or something so we know once we get inside, we know where to go?
Any of you have a savant on you? Any of you has that as part of your items?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, I think savant is what you would have to use at this point to remotely, without being on the ship, to remotely get into
Sa has
the
savant.
networks. Okay, yeah. So if you wanted to roll a computers test to see if you can pull up any kind of data, it's going to be 3 difficulty though, as this is a private residence.
We do have audience boosts.
I will
if you
take.
would like one.
Yes.
I agree. Just Leroy that shit. I agree. Just go on, your guns blazing. We'll definitely end then.
1 success,
Triumph.
Nice.
3 threat, 1 triumph.
Okay. So you very much have, so we'll say you have old school blueprints of the Sky Palace. So many years ago, when the palace was initially built, this was probably before Bertod had kind of gone down this lunatic path that he's gone down. He was very much more open and was sort of bragging about this palatial estate that he is building in the center of Azure Glide. And so you can see that there were virtual tours, there were like walkthroughs, there were engineering schematics here and there showing the advancements that he was kind of adding to it, showing you like the various atriums, these these gravlift atriums that are literally hovering and circling around the tower itself. And so you have you do in fact have some basic schematics. It's about 100 stories high, but it's a very thin, it's not like a massively wide building, but it's very, very thin. And there are some floors in which it's just 4 or 5 levels of just space. It's not like there's like every single floor is just like the same, like 20 feet. Some of them are just these huge chunks, these huge sections where there's ballrooms, there's research labs, things like that. But you have a basic layout of it. It might be dated, but but it gives you something to work with for sure. Those threat I'm gonna tuck in my back pocket for later. What that basically means is that as you were kind of going through some of the databases, like as you're kind of getting into it, you get the sense that your presence digging through some of these archives did not go unnoticed.
Oh, great.
Okay. So you have a basic schematic. I would say you would know some key points. You would know, like his executive, like sort of his executive board and office area, like which is about 75% of the way up the building. You would know that there is his private kind of personal R&D laboratory. You have that marked out, which is the bottom like 25% of the building. And you know a little bit about the rooftop where it has this sort of city viewpoint, and it's something where you can literally look down over the entirety of Azure Glide, but its own personal port and tether to his cruise liner. So those are 3 big pieces that you would know in this massive palace.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else have something you want to do before you're hitting the save point?
Since we are going to be doing some like crawling through pipes and different things like that, Puri's doing like a very quick like climbing 101 for everybody with like positions and like where to put your feet and where to put your hands and like how to like keep yourself from falling. And so she's doing this like very very quick like hand placement, foot placement, like just do just like me.
Okay, fair
Good.
enough.
Good. No, higher. No, you got it. Good.
I have short arms. They only go up so high.
Okay.
It's not up. It's out. It's make yourself wide. You don't have to be tall. Just wide.
Now I'm picturing Nico with like little T-Rex arms.
Spread eagling.
Everything else is normal proportion except for his little arms.
Okay. So, if there's no other business, you guys plunge into the vent. You
Yes.
follow Paraloka's lead, the climb up the way you're supposed to climb up. You find yourselves kind of bursting out what looks to be according to your schematics there, Saw, some sort of storage basement level. And when you enter out, you can see that there's this huge single room. There's not like walls or anything. It's just this massive room. And you can see all of these storage containers here and there that have individual locks on them. You can see that there's artwork, statues, holographic imaging containers, things like that have been just stored here for a variety of reasons. Also seems to be like a lot of replacement parts for some of the mechanisms that he probably uses throughout the palace. All of that is kind of set up here. And within the room, not too far from where you pop out, you do see that there is an extensive console. You do see that there is an elevator, and there does appear to be like actual stair access as well. So there's two ways out of here. And you do see a console that when you whoever gets through this vent first and bursts into the basement, it was dark. Everything was basically dark in here. And then slowly, with your movement, the entire room is beginning to light up. And you can see the console has triggered essentially from you all entering into the area. And you know that very quickly, someone, whoever is monitoring this, whatever personnel might be monitoring this, will notice that there is activity down here in the basement. So how do you all want to handle that?
Saw, poop, hurry up, poop,
Yeah,
hurry up,
yeah.
hurry up, hack. And Puri is going
Push her back
to
down.
go with her rifle and stand looking up the stairs. So she'd be able to see if anyone comes down the stairs.
Fair enough. Okay.
Which, just to add context, I have a new talent, heightened awareness. So allies within short range of my character gain 1 bonus die to perception or vigilance checks. Allies who are engaged get 2 bonus.
Okay.
I have that too.
No roll just needed just yet. But I'm saying you're in the stairwell looking up, no problem. What else? Who else is doing something here?
Am I able to assist Saul?
If the two of you are trying to get on that console and do what your contact said, yeah. So we can do a computer's test is what I'm going to look for here to essentially shut the system down so that it doesn't trigger and let the personnel know that 5 people just entered the basement unimpeded, and it just looks like a malfunction. That's essentially the best you could do here. Roll a computer's test. Saw, what's your int?
My int is all messed up on my thing. What?
No, it's 3.
That's
It's fine.
3.
I'm looking at
3,
it. It's fine. Yeah. So just take a bonus die. So take a boost die. Take a blue die. As it looks like Murtaugh has the same. So roll a computer's test with a boost die. 2 difficulties, fine. All you're really trying to do is just make it look like this console is malfunctioning, as opposed to it.
Okay.
Tracking your
What can I
movements.
do again with my previous triumph that I got?
So triumphs you can do a lot of things with. In your particular case, we could say, because it's non-combat, so it's kind of a.
Is
thing.
triumphs just for combat or
No, it's
I-
not. It's just a little
Okay.
easier to sort of. You can do something vital. You can, on an initiative check, upgrade the ability of allied character's next check. So you can upgrade the ability of any allied character's next check, including that of the current active character. So you can spend it to upgrade one of your greens to another yellow if you want on this
Oh,
test.
cool. Okay.
Yeah. that seems like
And
the
that would
most
be the up arrow on one of the green ones.
It's correct. Yeah, it should change it to a yellow.
Three advantage.
Okay. So what this means, Sa, is, and Murtaugh, you're both working on this. You actually you're struggling here. And you can tell not only, it's not the system itself that seems problematic, but it does seem as though there is an active agent on the other end who has already entered in and is trying to get access to various security cameras within this setting. And you can see that there's these different panels up on the walls that are starting to light up, and you've already been locked out, and you have literal moments before some of those cams come on and they see you in here. 3 advantages is unfortunately not a success. So
Yeah.
you're
Could
not
I
you succeed on that.
spend now a story point to instead switch once we realize that we can't access the system to like blocking the cameras?
Do you want to spend a story point to you want to
Or,
block the cameras? You said
Like hack them or something, or is that possible? Or
I
do
would
we need to
say-
just like physically block them?
I would say story point. You can physically, you can say you're introducing some large machinery here that might actually give you some cover from the cameras and
Okay.
maybe a line to either the elevator or the stairs. We can say that. Otherwise, because I don't want to do another check because you already rolled and failed. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to do another
Okay.
hack check.
Yeah, we'll do that then.
Okay. So we'll say the two of you know that you were unable to sort of shut this and make this look like just a malfunction. And so you know that there was someone on the other end. And since you know there was someone on the other end, they more than likely know that there was someone on the other end kind of messing around. They don't have visual of who you are or how many you might be because of the story point expenditure, but more than likely they're sending someone down. So with that in mind, what do you guys want to do?
And Saw will announce, they know, we need to go.
Oh, what are we gonna do? Go up 1,000 flights of stairs?
We have to start somewhere.
Let's get going. Holding my massive rifle.
Piri is also ready with her rifle as well.
Okay.
You want to go up the stairs? Is that what you want to do? Okay. You want to go? Okay. You want to run up 100 flight
Oh
flight
my
of
gosh.
stairs.
There was an elevator.
I hear what
too,
everyone's
think.
saying. I get to. There is an elevator. There is a lift. Sure, that is there.
I feel like we might get on the elevator somewhere other than the room that they know that there was connection to their system.
True.
Okay. So you just want to start booking it up this flight of stairs. Fair
And
enough.
then at some point we'll get off on a floor and try to get back to the elevator.
Okay. Who is leading the way then as you start moving your way?
Me.
Up? Okay, Nico, are you concerned more with speed or are you concerned more with stealthiness?
Nico is a stealthy boy, so I think we'd try to be going as fast as possible, but making sure that like we're not just barreling into people.
Okay. You can roll
Stealth over speed.
Yeah, if you want to roll a stealth test to try to kind of lead everyone up a couple flights until you're able. Yeah, so you can roll the stealth test, and I would say either Piri. I think maybe it was Piri because you were saying you're particularly being vigilant. Roll a vigilance test if you're trying. So these two things combined: Nico trying to lead you all quietly, Piri trying to keep an ear or an eye out for potential, incoming, that kind of thing.
What difficulty?
Just default. Default difficulty is fine. 2 difficulty.
Did you say vigilance from both of us?
No, I see. You said that you were trying to keep an eye out on the stairwell. So
Yes,
if that's
yes.
the case, you can roll your vigilance.
Got it.
And because I want to use this at some point, I have chameleonic. Once per session, I can spend a story point to add 2 successes to the results of a stealth check. So I'm going to spend a story point to give myself 4 successes instead of 2.
All right, so 4 success. So you have 4 successes on the stealth because you spent your story points was through 3. And then, how'd you do on the vigilance test?
I got 2 advantage, but I realized that I'm trying to figure out if heightened awareness applies to me as well.
Okay.
I guess
mean,
not.
mine would. I have heightened awareness.
Well, yeah, since you both have it, you can probably get it at least from Saw.
Okay.
That's fine.
I don't know how to.
Just
I rolled a 4 on the extra d6.
I don't know.
I know, that's
Everyone
why I'm
knows
like,
what that means.
I don't know
I have
what
no
to
idea.
do with that. I'll
just roll. Just go in. Just roll something. Delete all the other dice and just put a blue die in the roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's adding.
Okay, so the actual book says a 4 would be a success and advantage.
Oh, of course it does. Of course it does. Because Steven knows I don't have enough time to check it. Okay, so if that's the case, success with an advantage.
So that's 1 success and 3 advantages on my vigilance then.
Piri, you managed to make it up these stairs about 5 flights before you hear in the stairwell above, you hear voices. And you hear voices communicating to each other as if they are security personnel. Like you can hear it's not like they're just bullshitting having fun. Like it sounds like strategic communication, people taking sight lines, and they're sort of directing certain folks to stay on stairs, to sweep, this particular floor. And so they're giving orders and directions very militaristic like. And so you can hear them about 2 flights above you, and it's just a matter of time. Fortunately, Nico has managed to keep you all kind of quiet, leading the way. But it does look as though you're either going to have to fight your way through a security team 2 flights above, or you're going to have to get off here and try to brave one of these floors.
And so Piri is going to, since we've been quiet, she's going to do, some type of hand motions. It's going to say like, and then basically like making signals that means we need to go. We need to get off the stairs now, and we need to run.
Nico is completely nodding in agreement and pulling off his fanny pack and unzipping.
No. So we're now is where we're going to exit and then see if we can get on the elevator to go up the rest of the way.
Okay, so you're exiting. Okay, so you exit out. You can see that you're in some sort of gallery as you step out. You can see where when you first entered into this palace, it was essentially storage. But now that you get out, you can see that there is extremely high ceilings, probably about 20 feet high. And above you, there is this mural that extends as far as the eye can see. And you see these coursing lights going through it as if it's not just like a singular image, but rather something that sort of shifts and changes. The floor itself is very reflective, these huge tiles, but they're all some kind of advanced plastic. And you see spaced very generously apart from one another are different pedestals. And from right above each pedestal, as if there's some sort of grav lift tech there, you can see there is an artifact or some other sort of device that is hovering above each of them, as if this is like a personal collection of various gear. Some of it you look at, like just from the distance, it sort of looks like broken tablets, something of old. Nothing looks brand new or obvious. All of it looks to be in kind of bad shape. It's something that might have come from like an archaeological dig. Without taking extra time to really investigate, you don't really see it. But it's a very wide open gallery with just a handful of these small pedestals. You don't immediately see anyone, but as you start moving through the gallery, trying to reach over towards the lift, I will roll over Piri's vigilance because you did get a couple advantages, and I will say that you're able to stop everyone right as you're about to turn around a corner, and you can see these little drone devices that are starting to fly in the middle, like right above. It's not like a stationary camera. They're actual drones that are flying about 15 feet above, and they're like scanning here and there. And there's a few of them. They're just flying by. They haven't noticed you yet, but it's just a matter of time. And they are between you and the lift. How would you like to handle that?
Everybody, we've got drones. We can't get there.
See if there's an object nearby. Maybe you can knock them out. This is like a gallery room. Grab something.
It's a gallery room. There's a variety of pedestals hovering over top of which is some sort of display item. The drones themselves, these security drones are flying up. They're probably the size of like a watermelon. and each of them has various lenses that are looking about, and you can kind of see the lenses sort of shifting and looking as if you're not sure if they're doing this naturally, like just like a natural patrol, or if it's part of this security response. You're not sure yet. They haven't noticed you yet. They are about 15 feet in the air.
Koi will chunk from her portable toolkit like a wrench or something, like, 15, 30 feet away from us to try and see if the drone shifts towards the noise and then give us some time to.
Okay. So you take a wrench out of your toolkit there, you hurl it to the other side of this gallery. It clatters against the ground and you hear it just skid and echo. And whoever, we'll say Puri, you're keeping an eye on that watermelon-sized drone. You see it immediately, the lens focuses, and then it begins to zoom across and goes immediately after that sound. You have a moment or two to bypass this.
To me. She's like bringing everybody over and across towards the lift.
Okay. Are you all getting on this lift?
Yeah.
Yep.
You said
Like
it's not
a
grinning.
smile.
Sorry, did I grin? My bad.
Yeah, you did.
My bad.
Nico doesn't trust these. He knows a guy who got stuck on one of these. He had to shit in the corner.
I was just about to say,
God.
the lift's open up. There's a massive shit in one corner. Evident in our mothership game, for reasons unknown, one of our players, as his way of responding to a failed sanity check, said that he just took a shit in the corner of the elevator. That's how he quite literally lost his shit. It's the stupidest thing. Oh, goodness. All right, everyone's getting on. You get on. Spacious. Again, very high ceilings. You can see that it's not like your modern day elevator where there's 100 different buttons. You don't really actually see a clear panel until the door is closed, and then you see one of this sort of holographic panel kind of recedes for a moment, and you can see there's all of these different tiers that are being that could send it to. As one of you goes to press it, you feel the lift just start moving on its own before you're even able to actually press a button, and you just start shifting and moving and moving and moving.
Is there a way to bypass that command? Maybe hack the elevator somehow?
You can absolutely try. You have tools, correct? I think Murtaugh's got some tools.
I've got repair tools, so if this thing is
you're more
broken, I can
mechanics
fix it.
It's not broken. You have a bypass pack though, right? I think
That's still like a fixing thing.
Okay. That's for the trauma vehicle. Okay, go ahead and roll a computers test again. Whoever wants to do it. Your difficulty this time is actually going to be 3. As you're trying, this has already been sent a specific command to take the lift somewhere, and so if you're trying to prevent it, so it's going to be 3 difficulty for this. And there's actually going to be 1 setback die as well. Looking at
Oh
it.
God.
Yeah.
And there's actual physical doors that close whenever we get in, right?
Physical doors. Boom.
Okay.
Close.
Well, Koi wants to use her polymorphic pry bar to try and jam the doors, at least from our side, so they don't open until we want it to open, in case we go on a floor we don't want to go on. So to buy her time for hacking.
Okay.
So if it goes to 5 and we're we don't want to be on 5, it can just kind of jimmies it.
Okay. Yeah. I think, that's fine. We can just say, yeah, we can. I think there's no roll necessary to just jam the pry bar in there. That doesn't seem like something that requires a check. It'll buy you time, but it won't be permanent. Go ahead, Sal.
Anybody want audience boost?
Who's rolling? I have 1 yellow, but I also have been rolling great.
You gotta clear your luck somehow.
Better than me.
I don't think anyone is better than you.
It's really just you, I think,
Okay.
Ashley.
Yeah.
I can
Okay.
blow
It's all
the
on your
controller.
shoulders.
And if you
But
fail, it just means we end.
Murtar is
the day and we
assisting,
leave early.
correct?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I can continue helping.
Okay. And then I'll use an audience dice as well, please.
Got it.
Okay. So you should have. Yeah.
Oh.
You forgot the setback die.
Oh, well.
Oh shit.
Oh. Roll a d6 or is it
You
d8?
roll a d6, and I think Steven, you just dropped that.
Consult the
link, right?
table. Oh, there you go.
I don't think it has the. Oh, it does.
Oh, yeah, it does. 4 is what is an X?
That's a fail.
Fail?
Yeah.
Fail.
So
So it'd just
one
be one
success. So it's
One
one
success.
success.
3
and
threat.
3 threat.
Oh no, you
Okay.
leave a trail when you hack something.
So first of all,
Saw is not used to this type of electronics.
She's like, I got us all where I want us.
So first we'll say is you're able to get in there and interrupt the command to send wherever this is sending you to. And so you can all feel the lift stop moving. And so it no longer continues up towards wherever it was taking you. So that's the good news. The bad news is that moments later, you see these little lines suddenly appear like behind these holographic projections of the walls, suddenly go red, and you can hear the sounds of these vents, just sort of closing on you as atmosphere seems to be getting vented out of the elevator. And that's going to be my threat, as you're no longer going to wherever it is that was taking you, but you are running out of oxygen. What would you like to do?
Oh shit.
Well, I got a
doesn't
space
affect
suit.
Saw,
doesn't affect me.
unfortunately for you all.
It just watches everybody else die. It's a shame.
Can you put us can you press something on the elevator? Can we go to where we want to go, to the top?
I don't know if you all would live that long.
With
I
one
will. I got a
suc-
spacesuit.
So
one
who has
success,
suits?
I think you could potentially pry the door open and get out here. I don't know if you can and you don't have any advantages either. So I think
Do we know where we are? Like what floor it stopped at?
you stopped at. Hang on, let me roll a little die here. Let's see where you ended up. Executive wing. You're on around floor 57 or so. It's a fast-moving elevator.
So Jeff, I have a can of dermal sealer. Is this
Okay.
something that I can do anything with that?
I think dermal sealer is like
It's for
is
suits.
suit repair. I think.
Okay.
If I recall.
Just trying to, see what's in my inventory.
I mean, you're welcome to just start spraying it around. Might as well before you die.
I mean, we could get off and then
And then what?
Thermal
We're gonna have to
sealer's
walk out
actually
the
for
damn
wounds.
stairs.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
to
looking at
prevent
it
blood
now.
loss.
Says the
It's-
old lady.
It's basically painkillers. Yeah, they're painkillers.
We could run to the stairs, do another few levels.
Well, press
get
the
on-
damn button, and whenever you can't breathe anymore, just tell me, and I'll open it up.
I feel like dermal sealer is like the advancement of the soccer spray. When they spray stuff,
Yeah.
it's basically that.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. You spray something, it becomes like hardened, like this rigid foam, and it essentially serves as prevents blood loss, and it also is a sealant, so you get anesthetized the pain. All right, what's the plan?
That's right.
Nico starts holding his breath and turning blue.
Direct the elevator to the R&D floor, wherever that was.
you guys want to try and hold your breath that long?
Well, they can go as far as they can. All right, she presses 100 on the elevator and starts watching to see if people are about to die.
Okay. You press 100 on the lift. The lift begins to start moving once more.
He just said it was really fast, and now it's going to become really slow.
And within maybe about 10 seconds, you feel the elevator slow really quickly. You don't move or anything like that. And the door is open, and you hear the clattering of your tool as it falls down. And you look out into what effectively seems like this beautiful garden. It's indoors, all sorts of glass here and there that are showing the atmosphere around you. You can hear the sounds of running water. You can see streams here and there. You can see these floating platforms that are moving about that have these beautiful little trees, almost like these bonsai trees, some of them cherry blossoms, just sort of moving and rotating here and there, trying to find the sun. And it's kind of what it seems like. And you've popped out essentially the view, the highest point, the viewing gallery. You're essentially at the top part of this building. You know that somewhere up here there's the way to the port, but that's where you're at. What would you like to do?
Let's hop off here.
Okay. So you hop off. I'll rolling over Piri's vigilance from before. We don't necessarily roll again. You do hear movement somewhere around here. It is not a quiet place. Not only do you hear the sounds of the running water and you hear the sounds of those platforms moving overhead, but you do hear the sounds of echoed footprints or footsteps, excuse me, on the ground, and it's not just your own. You don't hear that communication like you heard in the stairwell, but you hear that sound.
So any other ways down from here besides this lift?
So you can look around for one, but you do remember there were stairs at some point. You guys can look around for that. It's perfectly fine.
And do we see
roll-
the ship too?
Yeah, so I'll say anybody who wants to roll a perception test, and you can see if there's anything else that you discern. There is atmosphere inside of the atrium, indeed, this garden area.
Wow. Piri got 2 advantages.
Okay. I don't
Well, we
see
saw
any
nothing.
successes. So
You do not see any successes.
I see a lot of advantages, which we'll roll over in a second. But as you guys are taking up, you're moving out, and your characters are professional, probably more so than
Yes.
people playing them. But you're moving out from this elevator into this gardened area, and you're being smart about moving, keeping cover, looking, shifting, etc. And you're looking once more, Murtaugh. You're specifically looking out for any other signs of egress. You're looking for stairs. You're looking for anything. You notice one thing in the far distance, as you can see that there is this large, extraordinarily large, like kind of almost like a cargo bay door, this huge set of doors on the far end of this atrium, probably about 150 feet or so away. And there's a series of these garden displays in between you and it. But you don't see anything else other than that. I think someone else asked if you saw the ship. You don't. I would say you don't see the ship, but you do see, as you're looking out one of the windows, you do see this thick series of cables that seem to be tethered, and that it's kind of floating upwards and out of the building somewhere. And so you would imagine somewhere above you, the ship might be tethered there, but you don't see
How
the
thick
ship.
are the cables?
We're talking like each one of them, I would say, has probably got like a diameter of maybe 30 feet or so. These things, like they're huge, these huge cables. There's a handful of them.
I think everyone forgot that both Ashley and I have heightened awareness. So everybody gets bonuses.
What you also notice, in fact, is that the echoing of those footsteps stops, and everything's eerily quiet for a moment. And then you hear something crunching and crashing, and the ground starts to shake. And you look off to your left, and you see bursting from behind what looks like this huge, like hedgerow, maybe about 15 or 20 feet high, with all of these different mobile, moving like hibiscus flowers. You see it just get trampled as this creature bursts out from within it and comes charging at you all. I'm gonna go ahead and make that image available to you all on the desktop. And so it is probably the size, I would say. This has got like silhouette 3. This is like the size of an elephant, maybe a little bit bigger, as it comes trampling out. The head, you can see that the jaw is extraordinarily jagged. It has all these extra eyes going along the side of its temples. You can see that there's some kind of heavy scales, it's tough scales, chitin, it's kind of covering it here and there. And there's all sorts of arms and tentacles that seem to be inexplicably protruding from various portions of the body. And it is charging directly at you guys. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, gosh.
Nice.
Let's go ahead and finish off tonight.
This is going just like we planned it.
All right. So you guys, let's see. Whoops. Add you in.
We were coming here for a larger than life cult leader. This is not what I expected.
Okay. So let's see. You guys, let's see. Cool is when you're prepped for it. So this is going to be vigilance for everybody, I think. So let me switch that stuff over for you guys. So go ahead and if you go to the two swords, the initiative list, you can go ahead and click your initiative. It's also going to be that same thing for
Would you say
You
that
said
we're
vigilance?
vigilance. Yeah, you guys are rolling vigilance. If you just go to the actual combat tracker in Foundry, you can just click the dice next to your name.
Oh my gosh, it beat us.
Griffin, I'll drop it in the chat on Discord. Well, probably later. Okay, so it does in fact beat you guys, as this will go first.
No.
So this giant elephant-sized creature that I will tell you all is half. Yeah, it's half elephant. And it's not even really an elephant. It's more like a big old dinosaur. You were talking about T-Rex arms before, but this thing is huge, and it is barreling at you all. Okay.
Just a reminder to us, because it's silhouette 3, we get to decrease the difficulty of the check by 1. It's two silhouette higher than us.
But because it's adversary 1, it upgrades the difficulty of all combat checks against the target by 1, which means it cancels out.
Okay.
Get wrecked, fool. All right. Okay, it's going to charge at you guys. I'm not going to say it's one specific person. I'm not going to say it's going to target one of them. So I'm just going to roll randomly who it's going to target. It's going to roll a d10 here and figure this out. It will target it's going to target Nico. Smallest person here.
Oh no.
Goes charging at Nico, or at least it's charging at all of you, and some of you are quick enough to step out of the way. Nico, unfortunately, you are going to get the battering
The whole crowd
fist.
parts to reveal Nico.
Okay, do you have everyone's just like, you're fiddling with your fanny pack like I got grenades in here. Do you have any extra difficulty on attacks against you?
I don't think so, no.
All right, this is gonna just want to throw this out there. This guy's rolling.
I'm a tank.
No,
He's
this
got
thing's
this.
a tank. This thing's a tank. Is I'm rolling 3 yellow dice and 2 green dice. That's going to be 18 points of damage.
Okay, so with my soak, I'm taking 17 points of damage.
I rolled really well. I rolled 4 successes. Okay. And but the good news is I only have 1 advantage, but that's 18 points of damage.
Yeah, that's great news.
So Nico just gets literally trampled by this creature. And I'm assuming that's going to knock you out, right?
Yeah, my threshold's 11. So
Okay. So you guys watch. Everyone kind of tries to dodge out of the way as this thing knocks over this hedgerow, and in addition to also steps on Nico and goes flying past onto the ground. And Nico has fallen. He is knocked out. Then we're going to go to you all. So that was its turn, and then we're going to go to PC slots. Let me go ahead and make sure I claim that.
We're running, right?
I think I need to roll a critical injury.
Yeah,
too.
you got to roll critical because you went down. Yeah, so go ahead. Let me see if he's got anything. Is it vicious? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have vicious. So just roll straight up critical.
Do we have a roll table for that?
I don't think
we do.
I didn't put him in. I'm sorry.
No worries. Is it just a D100?
Yeah, it's a D100. Because
Is this the only way you die? Is from rolling
Yeah.
critical injury? Okay.
Yeah, so he's not like dead or anything. He's just knocked out effectively. What did you roll? What number did you roll?
37. Sorry. I was trying to find the
Okay.
table too.
Stinger. Increase the difficulty of the target's next check by 1. So the next time you make a
Yeah.
check, increase the difficulty by 1. But you're effectively knocked. You're knocked out. So you see Nico fall. He's not dead. You can see him breathing, but he is out. Okay. Who would like to claim the next initiative slot?
You don't want to be dinner. Get running. I'm going to pick up Nico.
Okay. So you're gonna grab Nico.
I mean, this thing has to be able to outrun us, though.
Yeah, I would think so. I think we need
This
to
thing's massive.
kill it. Yeah.
I don't think we can kill it, Mel.
So
Yeah,
I want
we
to
got
draw.
guns.
I do want to draw your attention to the fact that I rolled 4 successes and it did 18 damage, which means its base damage is 14.
14.
Yeah.
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 Mm.
Yeah.
I could have taken it if I rolled higher on
You totally
initiative.
could. You totally could. Okay. So, Murtaugh, you're taking the initiative slot. You are picking up Nico. We'll say action, pick up Nico. No problem. He's small. I don't think a check is necessary here, but we'll say that'll take your action.
Maneuver, I'll go ahead and move away.
And then where are you moving to? Options are back on the lift or towards that that set of cargo doors you saw on the far side as well. Those are your two options as you currently see.
The lift is the closest thing, so I'll head back there.
Okay, so you start running back to the lift.
Jesus.
Retreating. Okay, that is your turn. All right, another PC slot. Who's next?
Okay, so Piri is going to shoot at it. I am trying to do hamstring shot to give us some time.
Okay.
So hamstring shot basically immobilizes the target until the end of its next turn.
Okay. Sure. So like we said before, it's very big, but it's also adversary 1, and those two things kind of cancel each other out. So just roll your normal, and has no extra defense or anything like that. So roll your shot.
I am taking an audience dice for this because I like to succeed.
You
Okay,
did in fact succeed.
Instead of 9 damage, that would be half damage.
Okay, so we'll round up. And so we'll say it's going to take 5 damage, and it's immobilized until it's the end of its next turn.
Yes.
Okay, that's huge because I don't actually have any real range attacks on this thing. Though I can do vehicle flips with it, which is fun. Okay. So very good. So you start shooting. You catch it in one of its large legs. You see a burst of blood pop out. It kind of that leg momentarily crumbles, and you can see it fall. One of its shoulders smashes against the ground. It slides a bit, and it's going to take a moment to stand back up. This is a huge creature, so that it's going to take a while to sort of lumber back up. And so that's how we'll account for it. So that was Piri. You have a maneuver. Anything you're doing in addition to?
Yes, running.
Okay, so are you firing Murtaugh? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Saw or Koi? What are you thinking?
Elevator.
If we go to the elevator, what are we gonna do? We're at the top. Koi starts running to the double doors.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. It's about 150 or so feet away, give or take. You can probably cover at least half of that ground on a round, I would say.
Just keep shooting at the leg and we'll go to the doors.
Okay.
All right, so then that one is going to be Koi. And then that means Saw, it's your turn.
God. Do I follow Koi or do I go with you guys? What do you want?
It's your decision, Ashley. Don't ask them.
I don't like this.
You make the decision.
You put us in this mess with your hacking, so you make the decision.
Evan
You
is
killed
making
Nico.
I'm not hacking
You
anything
killed
else
Nico.
anymore.
Murtaugh picks up Nico, runs to the edge of the building, throws him over the side.
It's gonna be a great time to actually use his grenades with his body and feed it to the creature.
But it's a shame none of you passed that perception test to be able to actually see this gigantic creature before it charged you.
Yeah. Koi followed after Saw when she was alone, so she's gonna run after Koi.
Okay, so you do the same thing. The two of you are more than halfway across the room towards this large kind of set of cargo bay doors. No problem. So that's going to be, that was Saw who did it. Stephen, have you been looking up what happens while you're dead? Or, I mean, while you're not dead?
I stay incapacitated until my wounds are below my threshold. So I need to be healed 7 before I'm conscious.
Fuck.
Gotcha. Okay.
Seems like a lot.
It would be. Okay, next round, we come to its turn again. It unfortunately can't move this turn because you said it was immobilized, right?
Yeah.
So you see it, since no one remained in melee with it, everyone effectively ran away one way or the other. It just starts thrashing around. You see it rip you see it just kind of take one of these large arms and just sort of spike one of these floating platforms with the cherry blossom trees that are flying past. it hurls it across the room, but it's not it's more there to scare Koi and Sa and Murtaugh and Piri who are running back. So like, as opposed to an actual attack. Next up, it'll be you guys. So who wants to take the next PC slot?
I'll listen to Koi direct everyone towards the cargo doors. I'll go ahead and step out of the lift and head towards there then.
Okay, you're going to be a little behind now, but
Yeah,
because you're going first this turn, you can effectively catch up almost to them on this turn. But you are going to be a little bit behind, and you're carrying Nico still. Okay, who's next?
Piri wants to go with them because she's got the dermal sealer, which can heal 5 wounds.
Okay, so you'll say you administer the sealer to Nico, which gets.
You gotta shoot him though.
That's true.
So you have to hamstring shot again, or he's gonna chase after someone.
Can I throw the dermal sealer to Murtaugh?
You can take 2 strain, so you can move. So first of all, 1 maneuver to move. Okay, technically, what I would say you would probably want to do, Piri, you should probably go before Murtaugh. Use one of your maneuvers to give him the item.
Can I throw something out there too?
Yeah, go
I'm
for
sorry.
it. Yeah.
Nico talks about what's in his fanny packs all the time. So I'd assume you guys would know that he has 2 packs of dermal sealer in there as well. So he's already carrying 2.
Mm-hmm. And tons of grenades.
And tons
If
of grenades.
he's carrying them as my action, I can just heal him with the
Okay.
sealer.
So let's just reset for a second. Let's go back to Murtaugh's turn. So this creature mobilized, couldn't do anything. It just menacingly swatted one of these floating grav lifts out of the sky. Now we come to Murtaugh. Now remember, you get a maneuver and you get an action on your turn, but you can voluntarily take 2 strain to do an extra maneuver, right? So just keep that in mind, both Piri and both Murtaugh, when it comes to pulling items out of your inventory, grabbing items off Nico, aiming, moving, that kind of stuff. So with that in mind,
is that limited to only 2 strain a turn, or can I do like multiple strains?
you can only do a maximum of 2 maneuvers per turn. You can't so you can only do it to get a second, and that's it.
Right. Then I'll use 2 strain to draw his sealer, action to heal him, and maneuver to move.
It's actually a maneuver to use the dermal sealer, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm fine with him using an action.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
It's all the same. You could just
Yeah. I'm fine with it. Okay, so you 1 maneuver, pull out the to go ahead and pull out the sealer. You administer it, so he takes 5 healed, 5 wounds are healed, and then you carry him for about a third or so of the distance across. So that is your turn. Piri, it'll come to you then. In the order of the way this is going, Murtaugh has already left. You can see him. He's running now for the door where Koi and Sa are running. So Piri, what are you doing?
Piri will hamstring shot is once per round. So Piri can do that again.
Okay, so you're going to fire. All right, same deal as before. I'll even give you a boost die since it's immobile, so it's a little bit easier to shoot. So take a boost die from that, and then rip your shot. And Gunny Sergeant, thank you for that Prime sub. Very much appreciated.
Okay, so that is 6 damage, which will be halved to 3.
Got it.
And then it is immobilized again.
You have 3 advantages, and your weapon actually has a critical threshold of 3. So if you wanted to actually do a crit, you can spend your advantages on a crit for it.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you'll burn your advantages. I have to roll then and see what's going to happen. So 68.
Scattered senses. The target removes all advantage or all bonus from skill checks until the critical injury is healed.
Okay, so I get no boost die from anything it might get boost dice from. No problem. That's not bad. Okay. 8 points of damage. It's still immobilized, so it's still like it gets up right as it looks like it's getting ready to burst again. You fire and you burst a chunk, like the kneecap of one of its other legs, and it collapses once more, bangs its head, kind of looks to be a little disoriented as it's on the ground. Then your maneuver is to move and catch up to Murtaugh. Is that correct?
Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm still in range to shoot it again if I need to next time.
Oh, don't worry about that. There's room to shoot.
Okay.
So maneuver to catch up with Murtaugh. Are you doing anything with your, like, are you burning strain to get another maneuver, or are you done with, with where you're at?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So Murtaugh and Piri are about a third of the way across because they just spent a singular maneuver. Sa and Koi are more than halfway across, like 2/3 effectively. Nico, you're in the arms of Murtaugh, so you're with him. Okay.
In the
Next
arms of an angel.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should retitle this to "In the Arms of Murtaugh." Oh, okay. All right. So that was Murtaugh and Piri. So Koi or Sa, do you want to go?
Yeah, with our normal movement, will we make it, or do we need to use double?
So basically, it's going to be 3 maneuvers to get across. If you essentially, since you guys did your full
Use
movement,
2. Yeah.
you just need
okay.
1 more maneuver to get there. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can get up to it.
And then this is like a massive hangar door, or is this something?
It's like a big ass cargo bay door. It's likely, you would probably assume that vehicles might come in here to unload various things, like the different trees and various other collections. Maybe this giant creature. Who knows?
Okay. I guess her first instinct will be using the portable toolkit to see if she can just like with the what's it called, like the welding flame or little welding kit, try to just like make a human-sized hole for us to maybe just punch through.
Okay. Let's say mechanics, probably do like a mechanics test. You have equipment, so take a boost die for that.
Koi makes a human-sized hole and realizes that Koi is bigger than a human-sized hole.
God damn it, I don't even fit.
Well, Koi has been saying how she's probably going to die soon.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Wait, what?
You rolled 2 failures and 2 advantages. Right? Okay.
2
Okay, I don't know why I
threats and
apologize.
2 advantages.
No,
So that would cancel each other out. The failures are cross.
2 threats.
X's.
Yeah, those are threats. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why I rolled nothing.
yeah. So
Yeah, it's
nothing
a
happened.
neutral.
So you're trying to get the torch to trigger, it just won't ignite, and so you're just sitting there, click, click, click. It's like that moment where someone's trying to get the lighter to go, and it just won't go. All right, that was Koi. So then, because that was Koi, we go to Sa. Sa, what do you want to do?
Is there a control panel or something at this door?
There is indeed. So we'll say maneuver to run up to it.
Yep.
And then you've got your action still. Okay. Anything you want to do with this is going to be at difficulty 3.
3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have a dice smell
Of course you can.
with how I'm rolling today? Oh my
I also want to point out, I just want to remind everybody, there are story points. You guys have 3 story points, so you can always use them for various things. So don't forget.
I
Not
didn't
just-
spend one already.
I was saving one for a dire scenario if this creature comes and attacks us again.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and rip it, Sa.
3 successes, 2 threat.
There
Okay.
you go.
So, first of all, you're going to immediately, when you get here, without too much difficulty, trigger the opening mechanism for the cargo bay door here. It is slow going. It's not an instant thing. So it's actually going to take this turn and next turn to fully open. But next turn, you will be able to slip through. Like you guys are small enough that you'd be able to get through. So on the next turn, it would be open.
I like how like Koi's trying to break through the door and Sa's like, there's a button over here.
She's still like trying to cut through it while the door's opening.
And then I'm going to say, yeah, maybe that's why it's not working. You're like, stop moving. Then I'm going to say the next person to go, I'm going to burn those 2 threats just to give the next person a setback die is what it's going to be. So we'll say maybe alarms start going off and they're blaring, they're loud. The light begins to flash. You can hear this loud siren going. It's just an extra distraction on top of everything else that's happening. So whoever
I
ends up
hate it
doing
here.
this-
I never got my nap on the ship like I was supposed to. I told you guys we should have. I needed more time.
Okay. This creature is still is still actually kind of screwed, aren't they? Let me see if there's anything else I can do. Yeah. Looking something up really fast. Talk amongst yourselves.
So is this basically their version of like a security system? Like if you have someone that like breaks in, just like shoot them off on this level and have the creature just murder them, and that's your security?
Be the demon dino.
I feel like it's just like how rich people want to own pet tigers. Like this is just their version of a pet tiger.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to roll a lore check to try to identify what this thing could possibly be, I will allow you
I'll
as
roll
an
a lore
incidental to do so.
We all try just for funsies.
It's going to be hang on, there's three different
There's
checks
culture,
for
lore, science.
This is going to be, I'll take lore or science.
I have
Yeah.
zeros in all of them. I'm gonna
Yeah,
rip
it's
it.
all the same.
I'm going to take a bonus because.
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
I don't have any of that.
Can roll it anyway.
You can still
Yeah, I
roll
mean-
it. You just don't have to have rank. You don't have ranks in it.
Yeah, you don't have to have yellow dice and something to roll it. It just
You should
means
still
you're
have
better at it.
at least a couple regular dice.
Yeah, you have to have at least one green. Yeah.
Like, I don't see it in the skills.
It's
Am I
the
blind?
knowledge category on
The
the
very
bottom.
bottom.
I might not have put it in Murtaugh now that I think about it. Yeah.
Oh, maybe the
just roll
NPC
just
domain.
roll that knowledge int because it's the same stats for those. So you have that knowledge int in the bottom right. It'll be the same. It'll have the same stats. Okay, so I see 1, 3, 4, 5 successes for this. Okay, probably because you guys have been doing some research and flying over here. You've gotten some Kelleris material that's built into the database of your ship, the Bounty. You've probably seen some sketchy holovid that's been collected from other incidents that have happened across the galaxy that are specifically related to Vulwraith invasions. And you have seen creatures like this pop up. Usually they have been unloaded out of some sort of either a vessel of some kind that looks almost like a creature unto itself. And they are usually at the forefront of sort of a Vulwraith invasion force. All of those videos that you guys probably saw are from outposts or places that were wiped off the map. Like after these things showed up, they were essentially destroyed. And you get there, everyone's dead, the whole outpost is destroyed, that type of thing. So this is a Vulwraith creature. And again, no one made that perception test before, so there's still some things. Okay. I couldn't find what I was looking for, so this thing is still going to just kind of sit there thrashing about, frustrating, and again, swatting some of those things out of the air, trying to ineffectually hit you guys. Who's going next?
I'm going to continue.
Okay.
I'm going to smack Nico awake with his
all right.
last sealant.
Okay.
So that
So
heals
you
me
get-
for 4 this time because it's diminishing
productive.
returns.
Yeah. But still should
Come on,
get you
Nico,
above.
wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that puts me under my threshold, so I would be conscious now.
Okay.
And I'll strain to continue movement.
Did I get him?
Oh, you got him good. Just keep running, though.
Nico, you look over your shoulder. Well, actually, you probably put him down. Nico can take his own turn now. Nico, you look over your shoulder and you see this creature is trying to swat some of these things out of the air. And you see all manner of like grav lifts with these trees that were sprouting up from them, just smashed out of the sky and cascading across the ground. None of them are technically hitting you guys, but there you go. Who's going next?
Puri will do the same as before.
Okay, so go ahead and take your shot, as per usual.
Okay.
And you're going to get a setback die from the previous expenditure of the threat. So
Oh no.
Murtaugh didn't roll a shot, roll a test. So you're the next person to take the test.
And what color is setback again?
It's a black D6 square.
Audience die would counteract it.
Yeah, I got it.
It's true.
All right. So 8 damage, half to 4.
Yeah, man, you should just let the damage go through. You know, you're ripping this thing. Oh, you know what I've been forgetting to do? Never mind.
Soak.
You're doing soak. I've been forgetting soak, but good thing I've been tracking this. How much damage did you just do?
4.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this thing's in great shape.
Yeah, I assumed it would be like,
Yeah, it's looking pretty good, actually. So 8 points of damage, 2 threat. I'll do the same thing.
4 points of damage.
4 points of damage, sorry.
So that it's incapacitated.
And then it's still immobilized. It's not incapacitated.
Yeah, sorry. That's what I meant.
Then it will... Hang on one sec. You actually have Pierce 3 as well. So some of its soak isn't even going through. So if that's the case, you've attacked 3 times. All right. I got it sorted. I know how much damage it's taken. It's sorted. All right. So as you're firing and you're shooting, it's thrashing around. You're pinning it down very effectively. It's just, this thing is huge. It's got all these scales covering its body. You're hitting occasionally. You're taking its knees out. You're not sure if it doesn't look like it's anywhere close to dying. But there's 2 threat. So I'm going to pass that forward. The next person to roll a check is going to do so with a setback die. As it sends one of these gravelets careening and it slides across the ground and essentially scatters everyone and crashes next to you. And so it's going to be 1 setback die for the next check. Whoever does that. All right. So are you going to continue to move as well?
Yes.
All right. So Murtaugh, Piri, you're like 2/3 of the way through the room. You're 1 maneuver away essentially from being where Saw and Koi are. Who is next to go?
I'll go ahead and go next. What range would I be from this creature?
Let's see. You've been with Murtaugh, right? And so Murtaugh, Murtaugh, you said that you moved last time, right?
Yeah, I've done 2 movements away from it.
So I would say if you've done 2 movements away from it, short to medium, I would say you're probably medium, Nico.
Okay.
Several dozen meters away. Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm just grabbing my rifle. Likely it fell on the floor somewhere, so I'm scooping it up and I'm firing as I come back up. I got you now. Just blasting away wildly. And I have a knack for it, which removes 2 setback dice from checks I make with this.
And so that one that I gave from the threat is not going to come into play here. It's fine.
I'm going to take an audience die as well.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
How do we do here?
Damage 10, critical, not quite enough advantage to get a critical.
Correct. What does inaccurate do? That's for rolling, right?
Inaccurate is another setback die. So I would have had 2, but then I can counteract 2.
That's nice. Okay, so that's 10 points of damage. No piercing on this, so all of its soak is going to come into play here. You do manage to hit it, though, and you can see a chunk of its scales explode from where your shot hits, and it actually damages underneath. So it does actually take some damage. It roars in relative anger, however, at doing so.
And I'll use my maneuver to run closer to it.
Okay, towards the creature? You're going towards the creature.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get even. He took me out. I got to take him out, right?
Okay, so you're going to move from medium to short. Okay.
I'm appreciating Ashley's face.
So Saw or Koi, what do you want to do? One of you two go.
Yeah, this is not working. I don't understand.
Boy, the door is open if you would like to go inside.
Oh, wow. Well, you just tell me.
Going.
Okay.
It's slow.
Wait, is that little green guy? Did he just... All right.
He's running
He just-
towards the monster.
You know, my character was built about saving people and doing the right thing, but this is just too stupid. And she'll walk inside the hangar.
Okay. The door has opened up wide enough even for Koi to go through. And it's essentially you're now outside. And you can feel... You have a suit on, so you probably don't really feel the environments too much now that I say that, but you can feel like the winds, the currents up here kind of start to push you. You can see off to your right as you leave this, you can see those cables, those thick, huge cables streaking up into what looks like like this massive cruiser. It's enormous. I would say it's probably 3-4 times the size of your own ship. You can see that there's also a kind of grav lift terminal underneath them, probably about 50 feet or so from you, that looks like you step on it, hit a button, and it would probably take people up to kind of a receptacle point at the underside of this cruiser, is where you could potentially head. And you roll a quick die here to see if there's anyone actually defending it currently. And it's empty. There's no one there right now.
Okay, she'll point it out to Saw, and she'll kind of get close-ish to the grav lift, but she's keeping an eye on the other members that are actually fleeing to make sure they are getting out in case she needs to go help them.
Gotcha. Okay, so you move a little bit. You're through the door. You're out of that atrium area, but you can still keep vision a little bit on like Murtaugh and Piri and Saw.
Yeah,
perfect. Okay, Saw, what are you going to do? You've got these doors have opened. What do you want to do?
I would like to stop the door so they do not open any further for this creature to be able to enter.
Okay, that's going to be another check, I think. As there is basic systems, same deal as before. Anything you're doing in these systems at this point is at 3 difficulty.
Understood.
Security has been alerted.
I'd like a die, Melissa.
Got it.
1 success, 2 advantage. So I fail because it needs 3 successes, right?
No,
it
you
doesn't.
did it.
You roll. Difficulty is just the number of purple die you roll, and what you roll on them could potentially cancel out what you roll on your good die. So all you need is 1 success. You're good.
Got it.
You also got 2 advantages, so you can use that. Probably you probably just want to pay it forward in this case.
Yes.
But you can use those 2 to just either give the next enemy a setback die, or you can give the next ally check a boost die.
I will give next ally a boost die.
Also, the other option, if you wanted to, you can do an immediate free maneuver that doesn't count against your 2 maneuver limit for the turn. So if you wanted to
could I shoot?
No, maneuver is like moving.
Oh,
or
just
aiming.
movement. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can aim with it.
Yeah, I will aim.
Okay. So that'll give you a boost die on your roll, basically, if you want.
So
to
if
shoot
I
at this
could
thing.
use my movement, I move inside the room and then aim with the freebie.
Okay. Going through the door takes you outside, and you're literally on like the roof area of this massively tall skyscraper. So you're leaving and you're shooting back through the door.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just gonna leave and then I'll pay forward.
Okay, so you're gonna pay for it. So next person.
Yeah.
So you're just keeping with Koi, and the next person can get a boost die on their check.
Yeah.
Sounds great. So that was Saw. Okay, this thing is going to go. Nico has gotten into short range. Okay. Okay. Damn it. You need to be closer. So it's going to just roar at you, and a whole mess of saliva comes flying out in your direction. And you are coated in this saliva, and you look ridiculous.
Ew.
Right. Who's going next?
Not today, cousin Nico. We've got to go bowling. And I'm going to run towards him, pick him up.
You're going to go run and try to... Okay, so you're going to maneuver back as Nico ran away from you.
Wait, let me shoot first.
And you're going to try to grab him.
Shoot on my back. I'm going to pick him up.
All right.
And strain to move back to my original position.
Nico, are you going to contest him picking you up and carrying you away?
Could I take my action before you do that?
If you need to be in short range, yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay, we'll say fine, whatever. Nico, you're going to go first. Go ahead and do your action.
All right, I got to throw grenades. I got to do. So range short for my last infantry grenade.
Someone needs to channel Aaron and just literally throw Nico off the freaking building.
Wait, sounds like she's approaching.
Oh my god. That's a lot of successes.
I forgot to actually do the. I kind of just rolled ranged light. So it's blast 7.
Okay.
So that would be, what is that? 11 damage.
Lost 7 plus 5 successes. That's
I thought it's 1 success to do the damage.
1 success to do the default damage. So that's going to be a total of 11 damage. Okay. Subtract its soak. Okay. You throw one of these grenades, and it's an infantry grenade, right? So it's just like frag. It's not one of the particles.
The bigger
Okay.
grenade.
So this thing erupts. Maybe you throw it underneath, and you see just the grenade go off. You see some of the underbelly of the creature just begin to rupture, where some of the scales and the chitinous armor that it seems to have on is not there, at least not there thick enough, and blood comes down, and you see this kind of green brown liquid begin to seep from the wound, but it is not defeated. But you have done damage to it, indeed. Okay.
And then do you maneuver after you do that?
I'll spend my maneuver diving into cover
Okay, so you dive into
because
cover.
I don't want to take away Long's action. He already
Dive
said
into
what he was
cover.
going to do.
Murtaugh, you're going to go, and you're going to try to pick up Nico and drag him away. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. No action necessary if Nico's not going to resist. So you run, you pick him up. Do you strain to continue running, or?
Yeah, I do strain.
All right. So you pick him up, and then you continue moving again. All right. Who's up next? Ridiculous.
Piri.
All right. What's Piri doing? You're going to try to continue firing?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
All
All
right.
right. Go ahead and roll your attack. Oh, my God.
Are there any
No, you're
setbacks?
good. You're good. Well, actually, yeah, there is, because you had 2 threat on that, did you, Nico? So yeah, there would have been one setback die. Just roll a d6.
That is a 6. I don't think
So
that's good.
that would be a threat on a setback die.
So then that is, I did not get enough advantage for a critical, so that's 4 damage.
Man, you're not actually really doing damage to it all that often because it has a decent amount of soak, but the immobilization is really annoying. Stop it. Okay. You continue to kind of keep it pinned down. You keep shooting its legs out. You keep taking like these shots to its knees that just continues to bring it down to the ground. Every time it gets up, it stumbles back down. You're starting to see that there's some wear and tear, especially from Nico's explosion, from your shots, that have begun to wear it a bit. Okay. Then Piri, do you move?
Yes.
Okay, so with your maneuver, you're effectively at the door now. The only people that are still left in the atrium are Murtaugh and Nico, who are about, again, back to like 2/3 of the way through the room. Sa and Koi are outside. Piri, you're right in the doorway, that cargo bay doorway, and that's where we're at. So Sa or Koi, who are both outside, what do you want to do?
I guess Koi will go to the grav lift and wait for. I assume like everybody could fit on there if we.
Yeah, it's quite big. Yeah, it's
Okay.
quite big.
She'll just kind of wait there with her finger over the button, waiting for everybody to jump on.
Okay.
Yeah, and Saw will follow.
All right, the 2 of you. Very simple, easy. Thank you. Okay. Creature will once again, ineffectually, roll with anger. However, this is like round 5, so I get to roll this now. Okay. So, those of you that are still in the room, in the atrium, you do in fact hear the sudden sounds of several footsteps come rushing, and you see emerging into the room, over by where the lift is, essentially coming out from behind it. You can see that there are some people that have shown themselves now at long last. So let me go ahead and add them to the initiative. That's their turn to essentially get into it, so they can't do anything just yet, but they are now in the combat.
Uh-oh.
So, all right. So this is going to be... Okay, so they're going to be at the end. All right, so start of the new round. It roars, doesn't do anything. Who goes next? PCs.
Oh, what's the range on the creature?
So you got moved 1 range band. You were at short, so you're at medium now.
Because it takes 2 maneuvers to get to medium.
Yeah, I mean, I think you
He maneuvered twice, so I didn't know. Or I guess he went 1 to me and then 1 back.
Oh yeah, that's right. So if he did 1 to you and 1 back, then you're probably still at short. Yeah, you're still at short.
I'll throw some more grenades.
Oh no, it only takes 1 maneuver to get from short to medium. You are at medium. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then I'm shooting with my rifle.
Okay.
Probably using Murtaugh's shoulder to steady my aim. So could I use a maneuver to aim and then shoot?
Absolutely. I would normally say setback die for
kinda-
shooting from.
It's kind of cheating because he's moving me anyway, so
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
okay if I don't get it.
I don't care. It's a third session. I'm just gonna blow the ship up once you guys get on it. It's fine.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's 12 damage. Still not enough advantage for a crit, so I'll just push the boost forward.
Okay, so the next person to roll a check is gonna get a boost die. 12 damage. Damn. And it's not piercing.
Wow.
Murtaugh,
Okay.
the only thing louder than
Still
this
up. This
rifle
thing's
in your
still up.
ear is Nico's maniacal laughing.
Okay. So that was Nico's turn. We're going to come to. So whoever's next. Who wants to go next?
I'll continue maneuvering. I'll even strain to get us out.
Okay. So you're out now, and you can see Koi and Sa, who are both waiting for you all. You blow past Piri, push her down as you do so. And then you rush over in the direction of Sa and Koi, who are waiting near a grav lift platform that seems to be waiting to take you guys up to that cruise liner above. But you're not all the way to them, but you're close enough. So that's your turn, Puri.
So we're all outside now, right?
You're in the doorway. You can see the big creature, and you can now see that some security personnel have emerged. They're currently long distance from you. They do have weaponry on them. It looks like there's a total of about 5 of them. They're kind of chasing you down.
Okay, so now that we are all outside, Puri is going to just shoot this thing just straight.
Okay, so you're not going to try to immobilize it?
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
So can I take a boost then carried forward from Nico's attack?
Yes, because he did have that from his advantages. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take an audience as well. See how this does. No advantages, so there's no critical, but that is 7 damage.
7 damage. And it's got 3 piercing on it.
Yep.
Okay. It's still up. You guys have put tons of damage into it. It is still up and it's still kicking, and now it's actually functional and able to move as you no longer have hindered it with your hamstring shot.
And then I maneuver back towards the...
Okay. So I think everyone is more or less, everyone's outside. I think 3 of you are effectively on top of the grav lift at this point. Nico and Murtaugh are just probably 1 maneuver away. See, Nico, Murtaugh, Puri, Sa, and Koi. Anything you want to do, or are you just still kind of waiting it out?
Nah, she's just jamming to elevator music in her spacesuit.
Okay. So what I'll
Sa's
say,
got her gun ready if she needs to, if anybody gets through, but she's just waiting.
so we're going to break initiative for a second, since I think you guys are going to be able to get away. But what you see as all of you climb on top of this lift, and Koi, you hit the controls, and you feel yourselves on this translucent bit of energy, and you can look beneath it and see yourselves on this angle flying up towards the underside of this cruiser. You can see the ridiculously long fall it would be if this device were to falter on you. You look down at the building, and you watch as one side of the building erupts, and you see this creature that you've been hamstringing burst through it, not caring for the cargo bay at all, and is much like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, just sort of ready to swing. Unfortunately, you guys have already started moving up the rift, the gravity lift. There are a handful of security folks who are following. They do have guns, and they're firing but their range is medium, so it's actually kind of ineffective as they're firing in your direction. So you do manage to load onto this cruiser. However, you haven't done so stealthily. So I'll say as you load up into the base, you see these kind of almost like bombing doors open, and that's where you enter into this cargo bay of this large cruise liner. You look around, there's no personnel immediately here awaiting you, but you can hear the sounds of sirens and alarms, klaxons and stuff ringing throughout. What do you guys want to do? We're going to shift out of initiative, and you just kind of walk me through what's the plan here, and I'm you're up.
Is there multiple exits from here or just one?
Yeah, you can see that there are multiple ways out. Sa, you got the building, right? You didn't necessarily get the ship. If anybody...
I'd like to spend a story point to have also acquired the ships.
That sounds good. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, we'll say, where are you trying to get to? Let's say, just tell me your destination here.
Anything that looks like where you would hold people.
Or or you'd hold the research technology.
Okay, so you're looking for
like a science lab facility or something.
So you just want to find some labs. Okay. All right. You begin. So yeah, you take the starboard hatch out, and you begin trudging. Saw, you've got your savant up. You can see the schematics as best you can of this ship. You can already tell just by moving through it that there's certainly been some alterations to the ship. Things have changed. It looks much less like a yacht and more like a military vessel at times. And you're also noticing as you guys are moving through that there is a significant amount of sections that have done away with your stereotypical plastics and metals for construction. And it almost looks like you're seeing these little talismans and displays of bone along the way. You're not sure if it's actually structural or if it's just ornamental, but you're seeing that as you're pushing through. We'll say, since you're specifically going for the labs and you have the plans, you do manage to push through and you get to what looks like this starboard wing. And there's a set of double doors in front of you. You can see through this opening in one of them, like there's this kind of glass opening, that there is a Hylar in their normal water-breathing suit, and you can see a very small, diminutive little monkey man that you would know is the other section of the Nazroka, even smaller than Nico, that are tending to various devices, and they're being done so while they're surrounded by what looks like more of the same types of security personnel that you saw before when you were like running away, but also you see that there are these other creatures that are probably about humanoid size, maybe 6-7 feet tall. They look like they have they're kind of purple skinned with these huge chunks of their skin ripped away, and they have maws. Not just on their heads, but on other portions, like on their side where their ribs might be, on their back. And you can see they're flailing around with these tentacles. Each one of them has some kind of control collar around its neck, now that you see. And they are kind of in the area, and they almost seem docile as these other security personnel are there as well. What would you like to do?
Can we kind of set up in sort of like a flanking kind of approach where we might be able to...
There's just the one set of doors that goes into the lab that you can currently see. You might be able to find some sort of vent access, but considering there's klaxons going on, people outside just saw you go up on the grav lift, whether you can get into them and maneuver in time, it's sort of a decision you'll have to make.
All right. Today's a good day to die. You guys take cover. I'm opening this damn door.
I've got my gun right over your shoulder. I can shoot. I can shoot.
What if
I can shoot.
what if we launch into space so that no more people can get on the ship?
Nope, I'm sick of this. And she'll go and just start lifting the door, and she's gonna just try and take up as much space and be like the target for everybody with her shield, and let everybody shoot behind her and
Okay.
see what happens.
All right. So that means that there's going to be another initiative set up. You guys, again, are going to do vigilance. So let me reset that for you guys. Go ahead and roll that. Actually, no, you guys are cool. My bad. Because you guys know it's happening, right? Yeah, you guys know fighting is
'Cause
happening.
we're doing
I got that
it,
backwards. Yeah. The other ones, my dudes, are vigilant.
We're not very cool.
Yeah, I'm better with vigilance than cool.
Yeah, same. Oh, this is going
gosh,
well.
This is going
Wow.
awful.
Door opens up.
Yeah, we're fucked.
And without immediately the security folks turn around. They notice you. Let's see, who do I want to go first? I'll do these personnel. They've got pistols. They will maneuver past some of these devices and various counters, and they will unload their some shots. So let's see. I'm going to target Koi. Koi, any defense I need to know about?
3.
You have 3 defense. I have 3 setback die for this. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay.
On every attack. Yep.
That's crazy. Okay.
This is why Koi wanted to go barreling in.
Fire away. That is a failure as they fire, and part of them hit the door, part of them hit the floor, part of them hit the ceiling above. Maybe they clip you, but they don't hit anywhere that actually would do damage as that first group starts shooting. Next up is going to be... The security chief is going to go next. They're going to take a couple steps, find a place behind one of these counters, and they're going to hurl, this is going to man after Nico's own heart, a plasma charge. I think is going to get thrown into the area. Oh boy.
If Nico dies to a grenade, that's like,
He's tempted to
Classic.
dive on it.
So with like grenades and like blast, your defense dice don't matter, right? It's just like an attack roll.
Yeah, I'm still gonna put the setback die because it's really a matter of whether or not they can throw the charge past you. So I'm
Okay.
gonna still put the setback dice in there because it might just hit you. But I'm gonna say if they get a success, they'll slide it past and maybe get some other people in a blast. And they do. That is, so we're gonna say, oh my god, that's a ton of threat though. All right, so they throw this charge. You're so busy with the shots that are coming your way from that small squad that's firing at you that you miss this hurling of a charge. It slips past you, and it's going to each friend or foe engaged with the original target suffers a hit dealing damage equal to the blast quality's rating. So who would we say would have been up towards the front with Koi? Like, let's just be honest. Who do we think
Nico
would be?
would've, for sure.
Nico?
Piri
Okay.
would have had her rifle over Koi's shoulder.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Okay, so we'll say Nico and Piri will take it then. Murtaugh and Saul will say you two were a little further back, not engaged. So Nico and Piri, you're taking 9 points of damage.
Oh,
Nico's down again.
It is inaccurate too, so I don't know if we should add 2 more setback.
Did it not roll the setback die with it?
Because you had 3 from me, and then
Yeah, that's a good point. Let me roll those.
it is only 1 success, so we could potentially negate
That
it.
is a good point. Let's bring that up. So I rolled a 6 and a 1. Let's see. This is a setback die. A 1 is a blank, and a 6 is a threat. So it's still
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't
successful.
matter, yeah.
There is now 5 threat. Okay.
What does that
so
mean when they have threat?
I get to use it. It's basically
okay.
inverse. I can use it. I think, right? Or could you say it the other way around? That's a good question, actually. I don't know.
Yeah,
Why
isn't
did
it
I
just
answer that
advantage
so
for you?
fast? That's how I was going to treat it. Like that's how in my head I was treating it. Like when threats are rolled, it's for me. When advantages are rolled, it's good for you all. So, because the GM spends threat, the players spend advantages. So I think. Okay,
Yeah, I'm pretty
Captain
sure that's
Crime.
right.
John says the roller uses advantages. Threats are bad for whoever rolled them. So if that's the case, then you all get to use those threat. Okay. So 9 points of damage to Nico, Koi, and Puri.
Ow.
Subtract your soak if you have it.
Yep, I got the one.
That leaves
Nico's
me with
body
five,
goes flying back.
instead of 2.
This also has burn, so they inflict damage over time. So when burn is triggered, one target hit by the attack continues to suffer the weapon's base damage each round for a number of rounds equal to the weapon's burn rating. All right. You guys have
So 4
5 threat. What do you guys want to do with those threat? You could just give me. So you can say active character falls prone. So you can say this: he falls down in the process, becomes prone. You could say he grants some sort of significant advantage, such as accidentally blasting the controls to a bridge, or the active character was.
We say he
planning to use
starts
escape.
like lighting the room on fire, like the burn extends to like
Okay.
some of the gear
I love it.
that they probably didn't want to catch on fire.
So the
Ooh, yeah.
explosion erupts, and then it kind of creates this cascade effect, and we see all these different equipment either break or catch on fire, and we see a fire starting to spread. Okay, so that's its turn. That's the security chief's turn. What a dummy, setting his own place on fire. And then
God, who would throw a grenade and then
Who would throw grenades
Inside.
indoors?
what an idiot, right? And then I'm gonna have this nightmare horde charge in.
Oh my
to-
gosh, it's still not our turns yet. I'm going to
This
be
minion
dead before
group.
we get there.
They're going to charge in, and they're going to try with blade, tooth, and claw to hack away at Koi.
okay, that's only 2 defense dice
Okay,
for melee.
got it. All right. All right, that is going to be a success with 2 threats. You guys can give me some sort of negative if you like, but 7 points of damage.
Okay, 7.
Yeah.
Let me read my. Okay, I'm gonna spend 3 strain and take 0 with parry.
Okay. Very nice. All right, so now comes to you all. So let me reset exactly the positions of everybody. This horde that just came up is engaged with Koi, Puri, and Nico. Sa and Murtaugh, you're a step behind. The other 2 mobs, the security chief and the personnel, they're at short distance away into the room. And I would say behind them is where you see your science crew, your science team, who seem to be a little harried and concerned, but they look up and they see this giant Xxcha that they recognize. And despite their withered and sort of scared look, there's maybe a sense of hope as they see you all. It comes to you all. Whatever order you want to go in. Who's taking the initiative?
I'll shoot.
Okay. Is there a particular person you're looking to shoot at?
The one thing that I was just trying to find was if I'm going to have an issue shooting my rifle.
Yeah, you are.
At engaged.
So you're talking about combat modifiers while you're engaged. I had those up a second ago. So making range attacks while engaged. If you want to make a range attack, it can be risky. An opponent engaged with a character, when the character makes a ranged attack, no matter who the target is, can add. So basically, I can add a boost die to my next brawl or melee check against you. So there's no immediate issue there. The difficulty could be increased as well while the attacker and an enemy are engaged. So you're going to have +1 difficulty to the attack. So an extra purple die.
That's pretty.
Okay. And it doesn't matter who I'm shooting. I'm still going to have all of that because I'm shooting
It
out of
doesn't
engaged.
it doesn't say that. No matter who the target is specifically.
No matter.
So-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So I get an extra black, and I'm going to take an audience.
No, you get a purple, not a black.
Yeah, an extra. It's the difficulty is increased by 1, which means you go to 3.
Which is worse than
purple.
black, yeah.
Yeah. You have a maneuver, so you can always reposition if you were looking to reposition.
Is that a trigger a opportunity attack
Man,
if I
why you gotta-
relocate?
Why you gotta ask?
I
me
didn't
those
think there was
questions?
op attacks in this.
I don't
thought.
think there is.
I didn't
in
think so.
Genesis.
Okay, then I
There
will.
is.
Okay, then I will step back a little bit so that I can just shoot regular.
Okay, now you are going to be. So you're stepping back from engaged and into short. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you step back. You're now with Murtaugh and Saw a little bit further back in the hallway, and you're trying to fire at. I will say, if you fire at the Nightmare Horde that's attacking Koi, no increased difficulty or cover the issues. If you're trying to fire through the door into the room to hit the personnel, that's going to be a really difficult shot. So you're just going to fire the Nightmare Horde. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I will tell you though that if you roll, I think it's a despair, I can immediately use it to have you hit Koi.
Well,
So
good
don't roll-
thing I didn't.
Don't roll despair.
So that is 8 damage. My advantages
Oh my.
did not come up to my critical.
And 3 pierce.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is a minion horde. This is a group. So 3 minions. You essentially shoot and you take one of them out with your shot. As you fire in, and you're going to. So mechanically, it's going to reduce the group size to 2. It looks like.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Very nice. Who's next?
I'll shoot at the nightmare horrors.
All right. Let's see. It goes on to there. Sorry. The character sheet went weird. Okay. So Saw, you're firing again. So you're back with Puri. You're in short range. You're trying to fire at the things that are hacking away at Koi in the middle of the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Go right ahead. Yeah. No extra defense or anything on these things. You're firing.
Would you like an audience boost?
Sure.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh.
You're firing. It's just it's such a chaotic area. Like between Nico still standing there, Koi is standing there. These things are one of them
Nico's
fell.
not
and-
standing.
Nico, you fell down. Oh, that's right. You're down. That's right.
Yeah.
Nico is burning alive on the ground in front of you, probably distracting you. But you do have 2 advantage. So whoever goes next and rolls a check next can take a boost die. All right. So that was Saw.
Nico's down. Like you got injured too badly, or
I blew
Yeah,
him
I'm
up with
unconscious.
Oh, do you have to roll another critical injury?
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
I thought we did. Did we not?
I don't think so.
No, you're right.
I don't recall you rolling a new one.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
I don't know if
82.
high is good
That's a
or
good
low
one.
is.
Oh, high is not
82 is winded. I
Yeah.
cannot voluntarily suffer strain to gain additional maneuvers.
Oh,
good. 1 second. Hang on. Actually,
Oh, you're vicious?
it's vicious, I believe. Let me double check. I have something that's vicious. Let me make
oh
sure.
god.
Nope. It's the Nightmare Horde that's vicious, not you. You're good. You're fine. Okay, because vicious means you add like I think 20.
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. I can't remember the number exactly.
it's
All right.
10
I
plus
didn't-
the number.
I didn't realize you were
What's the
down. Otherwise, I
rating
would have
of
healed you.
vicious?
Yeah, times the rating. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That is Saw's. So Saw, you shot. You unfortunately missed.
Yep.
Okay. So who's next?
You go, Murtaugh.
Okay. I'll go ahead and sprint on all forwards towards the sword
Okay.
and land a punch with my Virbui.
Maneuver into engaged. You've got your Murtaugh has this like these sort of is the Vera buoy?
So yeah, it's like an exoskeleton will enhance my punches here.
Okay. So you brawl. So roll your test. So you swing away at this thing.
Would you like a boost?
Did I get something from the last roll?
Yeah, you got 1.
You got one
One
from
blue.
Saw already
Okay.
by the default mechanics of the game. Okay.
Success. 5 damage.
Five damage. Not enough to take one of them out. So
Dang.
I don't want to break down how the minion works, but the more damage you do, you eventually reduce the group size. with 8 points on her shot, Piri was able to reduce. Your 5 is not enough to reduce the size, so it's still a size of 2. As the minion group size reduces, their stats essentially reduce along with it. But that
And
is,
with that advantage, I can reduce strain, right?
yes, you can take a strain back. Yeah, so you can. I think it's like a 1-for-1 deal. Okay,
Sounds good.
So that's Murtaugh's turn. Are we going then to Koi at this point since Steven's out again?
Yeah, I'll just go for the doggies.
All right.
Try and get one of them down.
Okay, so right in your business. Go right ahead. Okay, 8 points of damage. So that is enough to take out. Yeah, you're going to reduce the size. You're going to reduce the group size again. So essentially, you take one more of them out. One is still standing. One of these creatures, these hideous-looking creatures, another Volwraith, you think, with that some sort of control collar around their neck. You take them down, and there's just one left in your immediate area. You got 3 advantages as well. Do you want to do anything with them?
All right. I'm gonna. Is it 2 to give a bonus dice, right?
Yeah, 2. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give a bonus dice, and then I'm gonna reduce my strain, and then basically just spend it right away to use defensive stance, which will put me up to 3 defense and melee.
Okay. Sounds great. All right. Nico is unfortunately unconscious again. I told you you're going to be glass and paper. I told you it was going to happen.
I built him as a glass cannon.
Crap.
I accept it.
I accidentally ended the encounter. Okay,
We won.
but we know how it
Look at
goes.
that.
I go
We won.
first, and then you guys
You go
Super
first.
simple.
And then,
Yeah.
All right, security chief. Let's see. Actually, no. Let's start with the Nightmare Herd. He's right there. 2 targets between Murtaugh and Koi, so I'll just 50-50 at 1 to 3. It'll be Murtaugh. So it'll hack away at Murtaugh. Murtaugh, do you have any defense?
Yeah, I've got one
on your-
defense spacesuit.
for melee?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to give me a setback die. All right, I'm going to rip it. That is a failure, unfortunately. So 1 failure, one advantage. It tries to hack away at you, but you managed with your reinforced arms from your veer buoy to block the attempts for it to clamp down. It's opening its mouth, this huge maw on the side of its face, tries to clamp down into your arm, but it clinks against the metal exoskeleton that you have along your upper body. Next up, it's going to be... I'm going to have the security personnel, the other minion group, fire. Since I took Murtaugh last time, I'll shoot at Koi. Koi, how much range defense do you have? All right,
3.
So, oh boy. And trying to remember. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this is a success. They do get through. They fire 8 points of damage. I do have 5 threat for you all to spend, however.
Oh
as
my
they
gosh.
just tuck up from behind their counters and start firing away at the large Xxcha in the middle of the doorway. So that's 8 points of damage. And don't forget soak if you have it to reduce it, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. And then finally,
Can we spend 3 of that to say that they shot up something that would help us?
Shoot up the doggies.
Is it? Hang on. Is it 3? Let's see. 3 threat. I think it's when you're firing in. I think it's despair that you spend to attack your thing or attack your ally. I believe. We can say either.
Yeah, 3 would just give us a significant advantage in the encounter, such as
Yeah, that's what I
accidentally
meant.
blasting controls.
Yeah. We could say if you want, we could say they accidentally blast the controls of the door, so the door doesn't have to be, they can't kind of securely close it. You can also, if you want, just give the next character to go, and there's about to be someone to go, a series of setback die, if you want as well. To make it
Yeah,
harder.
that could be good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
All right, because the security chief's going to charge in to the fight with their blade. So they're going to come in and swing away at with their blade at this point in their hand. Okay, and so they're going to swing, and we'll do the same thing. I have two choices: Murtaugh, Koi, same deal. It's going to go for Koi this time. What's your melee defense?
3.
All right, and then plus a bunch of defense die. Plus, I have the other ones from the threat as they charge in. So this is going to be hard to hit, but here we go. That is a failure. Did get a triumph, though. Look at that. 3 threat that you guys can do something with. If there's something that you can think of.
Can he fall prone?
Absolutely. So he comes swinging in. There's blood on the ground from Nico and from these nightmare hordes. And he just slips and falls prone. With his triumph.
Finally, Nico did something.
Okay, Nico doesn't have that much blood. He lost it all in the last encounter.
His is mostly just flesh smell. He smells like a little
Didn't
campfire.
you get all of like the goo from that creature all over you when you went
True,
up
he
close?
spit on me.
That's true.
There you go.
Ew.
Whoever rolls next, upgrade one of your difficulty die from a purple die to a D12, a red D12. That'll be my triumph expenditure.
Oh shit.
Ooh,
And
okay.
that is my turn. All of them have gone. There's one of these nightmare hordes left. The security chief is also in melee. Those two are in melee or engaged with Koi and Murtaugh. The rest of the personnel are still at short range, firing from behind various counters inside the lab. Any order you guys want to go?
Yeah, I'll claim the combat. Just keep punching at the horde.
The horde. Okay.
Last
yeah.
remaining of it.
Go right ahead. Again, upgrade one of your purple die. So when you look on when you get the pop-up window, look to the right and you'll see, there you go, you got it. Perfect.
Nice.
Still a success for 5 damage.
Still a success, and 5 damage is exactly enough, actually. So describe your kill, Murtaugh, so I can stop doing it.
Yeah, the hydraulics on my exoskeleton charge up. When I land the impact, a loud shock just comes out against its jaw.
And
Just
you can
bursting
see,
it.
and there's multiple jaws, and so one of them just rips, and the flesh of the head just kind of rips apart as the jaw goes hurling off to the side, and it collapses now. So now there's only 2 enemy mobs currently in combat. Who is next? So that's Murtaugh.
Can I heal Nico?
Sure.
I
Nico-
do have a medicum.
Medicine?
So
I would get
It's-
1 wound for each success.
Okay. How far down are you, Nico?
I need 6 wounds to get up, and a dermal sealer would give me 3 at this
You
point.
do 3. Yeah.
I don't have a dermal sealer, but I do have medicum, which allows my character to heal other characters' wounds and critical injuries without penalty, as well as my own by increasing the difficulty. If I do generate 3 threat or 1 despair, my supplies are depleted.
Okay. So you're going to rip a test.
And then if I could get a
And no
heal,
penalty?
a die. Am I
Yep.
do I get a penalty? You said?
No.
So
it's only if he's
it's-
on yourself, it sounds like you get the penalty.
Yeah, that's only if it's, yeah.
yeah, that's how I read it too.
Then you just roll medicine, and each success is 1 wound. He gets back up.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I got a threat.
5
that
more
one-
rounds of this.
Yeah, that one
Eventually, I'll get
success.
you up.
I can only get the medicine once an encounter.
Yeah.
Oh, he's done. He can't get him up then.
Yeah.
You heal him once, so it'll be a little bit longer before he's able to get back.
So
in.
if Puri goes next, can I spend a strain so that I can both use my dermal stuff, which hasn't been used before, so it should still be at a 5?
I think
then take a shot?
It's receiving it, right, Nico?
Yeah, it's
Isn't it
receiving
It's on the
Yeah.
body that
It has
gets
diminishing
yeah.
returns. Yeah, you can still use it on him, but it's only going to heal him for 3.
And he would
Okay.
still be short too.
Okay. So I'll
Just
spend the
shoot.
strain
Just stop letting him distract everybody.
and shoot.
She's gonna do it. What are you shooting at? You've got the in melee with Koi and Murtaugh is the security chief with this long ceremonial blade. Through the door, much more difficult to hit, are the security personnel that are firing at Koi and Murtaugh.
The close one.
Okay. Okay. So you're firing into melee with your allies. Go for it.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying that in case a despair pops up. That's all.
Sure. I took an audience.
Ooh.
Oh gosh.
That is unfortunately a straight up fail. You fire, you miss.
Man.
This security chief is a little bit quicker than those nightmare horrors, which were just kind of lumbering, almost feral like creatures. I think Koi is the only one left.
Yeah. So Koi will go for the prone to security chief, and she'll try and kind of maneuver a little bit to let Murtar have a clear path to the minions behind them. And she'll say, I'll take this handsome fella. And she'll just go and like pile drive him into the ground. What's the bonus for prone?
Yeah, so I was actually just looking it up. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. I mean, at the very least, you'll get some sort of
A blue die or
boost
something.
die. So let me see if it's in the. It is in the index. One sec. Let's see.
Attacking while prone. Prone characters are harder to hit, so someone attacking a prone gets a setback. Character gains
Range
boost when
attacks.
attacking with a melee attack.
So just blue. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D6. Do you want an audience D6 as well?
No, it's okay. Should be okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I'm critting this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're vicious too, so that's going to
Yeah,
be
so
plus,
plus 10.
yeah,
It's a
so
D100,
plus 10.
right?
Yeah, it's plus. Yeah, so it's going to be D100 plus 10. Let me roll
We'll
it.
just add 10 to it.
I got it right there. Oh, we both did it.
Oh, we'll take mine.
We'll take yours. That's fine. That's fine.
So 93 then for me.
Oh dear.
At the
did I say
brink.
we're going to take yours? At the
suffer
brink,
2
target
strain.
suffers 2 strain extra each time they perform an action until this critical injury is healed. That sucks.
Oh my gosh, that's actually is bad.
That's really bad. So every time they perform, is it an action? They perform an action.
Action,
Okay,
not
yeah.
maneuver.
Okay, good.
Wow. So anytime they do anything, they take strain.
Yeah,
I think
that
she's like
sucks.
going into like a rage where she's just like bashing his head into the ground, and she's like screaming that she's so sick of this day and people's decision making, and she's like losing her mind.
Okay. And also 8 damage. So I factored it in, took the soak off. You've done some damage, and you've done a very good critical injury. All right, top of the round, and I will get to go again. They're going to, I think, considering what you just did, they're going to turn their attention to you, and the security chief will hack away at you. You had 5 advantages, by the way. In your
Yeah, I
want to do with those 5
used
advantages?
4 of them for the critical, and then I used 1 to remove my strain.
Okay, sorry. Got it. What's your melee defense again?
3.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'll just get it back up.
Okay, so I'm going to swing at you with its blade. See how that works out. That's a failure. That's 1 threat. Yeah.
Just stop
not only
it.
That, but they
Stop it, lay down.
took 2 strain as well. Okay. Then the security personnel will go next. They're going to fire at Murtaugh. Murtaugh, do you have any ranged defense?
Yeah, it's 1 as well.
All right. Guys, in your freaking defense. That nothing happened.
Oh,
as
the
everything
blink
cancels each
roll.
other out. Just fires
Oh my
away,
gosh.
putting holes in the walls on either side. Okay. Okay. Next up is you guys. What do you guys want to do?
Missing all those bullets towards me, I'll run into the room,
Okay.
get engaged
Okay.
with the personnel.
Absolutely. So you run around one of these counters where they were shooting from behind, and now you're up in their business. They do have melee defense 1, so add 1 black d6 to your rolls.
Got it.
Okay. Still
1 success.
4 damage.
Nice, 4 damage.
4 damage is actually, you take 1 out. There's a group of 4 of these guys, and you do manage to take 1 of them out. So you do reduce the group size to 3. So you run around and with that exoskeleton, just punch one of them in the head. Their head slams down against the counter, and they collapse to the ground, their head wobbling back and forth as if their neck has now been broken. That's Murtaugh. Who's next?
Koi will continue to ragdoll this guy. Just
Go for
throwing around the whole room.
This guy's Rough shape. Rough shape, you might say.
I'll use an audience dice.
Got it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'll tell you, first of all, your base damage at 8 damage, even with its soak, is enough to kill him. So you still have a triumph to spend after this guy goes down.
Okay. I think the triumph would be she's, losing her marbles a bit and just kind of beating this guy into a bloody pulp. And then she just turns and throws his body at the minions, like probably knocking some guy out or just knocking them prone or something. Like she
just you lift them up, and as your attack, you just lift them up and hurl them into the room. They go sliding across, they bang their head, and they smash into the minion group that Murtaugh is next to, knocking that minion group prone. I like it. Let's do it. Okay.
She'll go walk over to the scientists after.
Okay, and you spend your maneuver to hurry up, and you can see that, Ungala Finn is there. You can see, what's it called? I can't remember the name of the freaking Nas Roka. But you can see at the very least Ungala Finn, the Hylar, the kind of squid-like person inside of their water-breathing suit. They're very, very happy to see you.
Sash?
Sash, thank you. No, Sash is the name of the
cat. It was like Rook or Root or something similar.
Rook. It's in my notes. I just don't want to pull it up. Sa and Piri. What do you guys want to? What do you two want to do?
Shooting.
Okay, it's going to be increased difficulty though. Add a setback die as it's difficult to hit them. Actually, add 2 of them because they do actually have range defense as well. So add 2 setback die to your attack.
That is 7 damage.
You still get through, and that is enough once more to reduce the group size down to 2. So one of them, as they're trying to get up from being knocked prone, their head just peeks out from behind that counter. Shot rings out from the hallway, and there's a hole in the head, and this from temple to temple, and we see the side of the counter on the other side where the bullet ends up. And then Sa. What are you up to?
So is there a way to contact our ship and have it docked to this ship so we can leave?
Sure. I think that sounds great.
Nico has a comm bead in his ear.
We are 10 minutes away from 3 hours, and I do want to finish in 10 minutes. So I'm going to say yes, absolutely. In fact, you hear a crackling, and Krieg's voice comes through, and you hear it on Nico's comm bead, who's laying on the ground. It's like, hey, you little green guy. Hello. Oh, you killed yourself, didn't you? You blew yourself up. That's what happened, isn't it?
Saw will grab the comm bead and she'll talk to him. Hurry up. I need you to dock to the ship. We've got them, but we need to leave.
Dock to the ship? Dock to the ship? There's like 1,000 ships here. Which one am I docking to?
And she shoots some coordinates with her savant.
Sure. Okay. We'll say that's your turn, and he will find some kind of he'll figure it out.
Yeah,
that
and
works.
She'll assist on whatever end she needs to. That's what Saw is basically doing while you guys kill people.
All right. And probably for the last time, I'm going to roll an attack on the on this Murtaugh guy as the personnel here. They'll stand. They'll stand. And do you have range defense? I'm going to add some range defense die here.
Yeah, I have 1.
Okay, and plus they get an extra 1 from shooting in melee. And they're going to fire away. They will fail because they suck. And they start shooting and shooting. Some of these overhead lights just crackle and explode as they miss once more, despite you standing right in front of them. Okay. You guys are not going to have any issues, I think, taking them out. So we'll go ahead and break initiative. And what I'll say is, because we're getting pretty late into this, let's come together with the narrative conclusion here. Because you've effectively pushed through the security, at least the outer security, to get to your people and some of their machinery. You haven't found Bertod Reek, but at the very least, you found your people. So walk, and you hear Krieg is kind of giving you an ETA where he's going to be, and you're like telling him you're on starboard side, and he's like, It's okay if I can't find an airlock. I'll make a hole. So look for a hole. What do you all? How would you all kind of? I'll give everyone to sort of like a beat to just sort of narrate what happens between this moment, winning this fight, and getting off the ship onto the bounty and getting the hell out of here. So everyone, just take a turn and just tell me what your person's doing.
So Piri is greedy. And so she is taking her bag and she's looking around here for whatever looks like expensive gear or anything that looks like it's going to have high resale value. And she's just like kind of looking around at everything. And she just like looks at something, picks it up and just says like, kawi for me, kawi for me. And she's just throwing stuff in her bag.
You are in a lab and there is a significant amount of stuff in here that isn't from your own scientists. So yeah, you start collecting some of these tablets. You see savants lying around that are in these cabinets here and there, similar to what Saw has. And so you just start throwing them into the bag, figuring out exactly what kind of research this creepy CEO is doing. And so yeah, you collect it. That sounds great. Who's next?
I'll help the research team make sure they're all okay.
Okay. So you are actually part of the research team. That's the interesting thing is Murtaugh, you're not one of the scientists necessarily, but you are you are an engineer. So you're a machine engineer for them. And so you'll see that Rit, who is the name of the Nas that we couldn't think of before, he comes running after you, and you can see he's extraordinarily happy to see you, but he's looking like, "Where's Sash? Where's Sash?" And and you know that they're back on the ship.
Was Sash the mole?
No, Sash was not the mole. So
okay.
Nas Roka are a symbiotic species. Like that's literally if you play them as a character, you play two different people. And so the Sash
I see.
are like cats, and then the Roka are basically cats, and the Nas are these tiny little.
Get the word. She's on the ship. We got her.
And so Riddle start climbing up on your back. It's not quite as comfortable up here, but okay. And so they're basically sitting on the back of your neck and your head's getting weighted down as they're trying to maneuver and get themselves. And they're tugging on your hair here and there, on your fur. It's uncomfortable, but this'll do. This'll do. All right. Koi or Sa or Nico, I'm fine with us saying like your eyes start to pop open. You're exhausted. You can have a narrative action here as well.
Yeah, Koi would, as Nico's waking up, she'd be like, I better hurry. And she'll grab his fanny pack as he's like getting into consciousness. And she's going to basically trigger all the grenades into the research room and blow up all the science stuff as we're making our escape and
fantastic.
Detonate everything.
You stole my boom.
You hear Krieg on the comm bead like, just go to the rear of the ship. You're gonna find a hole and you'll find me. And so you all start with Murtaugh escorting the scientists. Piri, you've got your sack filled with all these different savants and other equipment. And Koi, you grab as you're dragging Nico out. You rip his fanny pack off. You trigger all the grenades, throw it back into the lab. Nico, Saw, what are you two doing? Give me a narrative action.
Yeah, so Nico was trampled by the giant monster. He was blown up by a grenade, and nothing hurt him more than seeing Koi pull that pin and get to be the one to throw it. So he's just very defeated here and like, just kill me. Just kill me now.
So as you get to the rear of the ship, you see that like you guys feel the ship shaking as if it just took fire. And you kind of pass into and through the engine room. You see a lot of personnel in here, but they don't seem like soldierly personnel. They look just more like people who are operating, and they're all kind of taking cover or they're running around with, like looking concerned. And you can see there's more than a number of pressurized tanks in here, Nico. And you also see a big hole in the side of the ship. And outside of it, there is the bounty kind of hovering in place. And you can see like this door on the side is opened up, like one of your airlock doors is opened up, and there you can see Krieg. It's not Krieg because Krieg's piloting the ship, but you can see there is Sash the Roca, and we'll say also Administrator Wynn, the kind of cowardly looking Winu, who are both there, and they're kind of waving at everybody to sort of just jump across. And you can see that they've tried to extend some kind of like, hover extension that you might do to connect two ships in space or something like that. So Nico, what would you like to do?
Are you saying I could explode the
Yes, I'm giving
pressurized
you
air
a
capsules?
boom. I'm giving you a boom.
Nico's going to shoot at him, of course.
Okay. Saul, what are you doing?
Mine would have been before the room got blown up. Saw would have
Okay.
been just collecting information to figure
Sure.
out what knowledge this guy had.
So Piri, you're collecting physical items. Saw, you're getting into whatever of the consoles that haven't been burnt. And
Yeah,
as
she's
Koish-
even ripping them if she needs to.
and you're just
taking the
ripping like hard
console.
drives, so to speak, right? You're just
Yeah.
grabbing those things.
Mhm.
And then as you all one by one kind of hop across, you grab hold of these tethers, climb in. Nico, you just turn around, you look inside, you see a few of these security personnel coming up, getting ready to fire at you. You take one shot with your rifle, one of these pressurized tanks, and the engine room explodes. With that, you hear Krieg. All right, y'all, go ahead and buckle in. This is going to be a bumpy ride. And you guys feel the sudden jolt of the bounty as he begins to ascend into the Atmo and getting the hell off of Wellen before the remainder of Bertod Reek's personnel are able to respond quickly enough. And we will go ahead and we will end there after as you all successfully get away with the science team in tow. Okay.
Yay.
Very nice.
Oh my god.
And 2 booms.
Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, that was Embers of the Imperium for Genesys RPG. It's been out for a couple months now. Physical copies, PDFs, etc. If you are familiar with Twilight Imperium, the board game, this is the same setting. Hopefully, we'll come back to it at some point. I think I like the setting, like the system. There's things I like about it. There's things that I think slow it down. But it's pretty fun. Do we need to do any plugs? Yeah, we got to do plugs. What do we got going on? Monday is our next game. We got Horror of the New York Express, Call of Cthulhu. You should see us playing that. Melissa and I are in that game. Tuesday, Steven, what do we got going?
Tuesday's Forbidden Lands. Jeff and Melissa are in that. Kipser's in the chat. She's in there too.
Yeah.
The party is having some trouble being stuck under an icy glacier. So we're going to see how they get out of there.
Yeah, that's true. It was a very rough session last time. Boom sounds good. We should do that. We'd probably have all the ice fall on us. Let's see. Next Friday, we're back to Conan. We've been on a break from Conan, so we're going to get back to that. Aaron, one of our friends who was in this game, he was Krieg. He's gonna run that. And next Saturday, we are back to One Ring after our break from Twilight Imperium. Evan, got anything going on?
No.
Okay. Thank you to everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you to those of you who threw us some bits and all that good stuff. We're going to go ahead and rate our friends at the Boys from the Baltic Star. Go ahead, follow the raid. We'll see y'all later. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.